Welcome to the future. Happy Friday, everybody. Today's episode, we're going to do Ask Me Anything. We're going to open it up to topics. You can go off the reservation if you want. We can talk about anything that's hot on your mind right now. I'm going to tell you how to do that in 2 seconds. I just want to welcome the entire broadcast team, the future. First of all, there's Matthew here. Hey, Matthew, what's up? I like the double eyebrow pump action there. Very nice. Mm-hmm. And then we have Ricky,
Whoa,
Jonah, and we have Aaron. Yeah, why is it so smoky in there, you guys? What have you been doing?
Don't worry about it, guys.
Hey, it's Friday.
We're having a good time. We're in the studio.
All right, it's Friday. All right, guys, if you want to participate with us, I think by now you're starting to recognize a pattern. We're going to direct you to go over to Slido, sli.do or slido.com. Either way it works. Put in that number 1862. Start hitting us up with some questions, and the highest voted questions we'll tackle in that order. So if you want to have some side conversation on YouTube, you're happy to do that. I'll be scanning that, but the most popular voted question is the one that I'll be tackling with Matthew, okay? And I'll give you a little time to work on that. I have some announcements, a little business to take care of on a Friday. You guys know a little while back we put out the call for Young Guns Season 2, all women, all girls, all under, I think, 26 years old.
Yep.
I think that's what we said. And we got a lot of people that applied for this thing. Actually, too many people applied. So just as a quick recap, when I asked for participants to go on the show for Young Guns Season 1, I think we had 7 or 8 people apply. So out of that, it was slim pickings. And I think I picked the best group that I had. But this time around, and I'm really encouraged by this, by how many women applied to be on the show. So we got a total of 37 candidates from all over the world, from New Zealand, South Korea, Venezuela, Chicago, Tennessee, Lithuania, Ukraine, Singapore, Mexico, India, and a whole bunch of other places. And it made for one really tough decision. But I'm happy to announce today, live, on this episode of AMA,
For the first time
ever, the final candidates that are going to be on the show. Ooh. First up is Anastasia. I'm not sure how to say her name. There she is. So welcome to the show.
Yeah,
finally some energy. And look, I want to say this, you guys. If you are unhappy, if you're upset at us, direct all your anger towards Ricky. He's the one who ultimately made the decision. So there he is. Send him a little love. Yeah. Special style, right, Ricky?
Just, it was a real tough process.
It was tough. Really tough. Oh my gosh, it was tough. And if I had more time, if I had more capacity, I would take all of you on, because you all had really compelling stories and you were brave enough to send us a 1-minute audition tape. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'll make some announcements at the end of the whoever made it, and I'll tell you a little bit how the show is going to work, okay? Next up, finalist number 2 is Annie Yang. And this is Annie. Hey, Annie, what's up? Where's the rest of my team? It's all Ricky. Come on. Bring some enthusiasm, Jonah. Aaron, come on.
Jonah's trying to cut.
All right, Jonah's cutting it. Cutting something over there.
Yeah.
Okay, our next finalist is Megan Krieger.
Yeah!
There we go, you guys. And this is Megan. Megan, welcome to the show. Okay, this one I'm going to need some help with pronouncing the name. So I'm going to leave this one to Ricky. Ricky, how do you say her name?
Maitri. Yeah.
Maitri. Okay. Yeah. Maitri, welcome to the show. You know what? I'm really impressed because we asked for headshots. 24 hours later, everybody had a nice headshot. So, guys,
all the girls came through.
You have just been served.
Yeah.
All the women have like awesome headshots. They're not cut off.
Photo, yeah.
They're looking at the camera. It's all good.
So you're already starting beef between season 1 and 2.
Of course, it's going to be battle of the sexes, Matthew. You know where I'm going with this. It's all about the drama. Okay, next up is Monica Pern. Monica! Welcome to the show. Okay, that is 5. Young Gun Season 1 only had 5 participants. How are we going to do this, Ricky?
Well, I think we should open it up a little bit more since we had so many more people apply.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I hope I don't live to regret this, but we're going to open it up and we're going to take 7 people onto Young Guns 2.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to do it. Okay, so let me, here's the next person then. The next finalist to join us on Young Guns 2 is Rhea Hardcastle.
What's up, Rhea? Yeah.
Hey, man, Ricky, you bring some flavor.
Hey, we're trying to figure it out today.
Yes, this is very different than your video on our channel, which is like...
Today's Friday. I think that's the difference.
And actually, I think it's Freaky Friday because you and Aaron have swapped personalities. Because on that video, Aaron was exploding off the screen, and now he's like, all right.
It's pretty hot in here, man.
Well, who told you guys to burn all that material in there? Okay, last but not least is Tosin. Tosin, hello, and welcome to the show. So, ladies, congratulations. Welcome to Young Guns 2. You can expect some work to be done. I think the first thing we're going to do is going to review your portfolio. And I think Mark or Ricky will be in touch very soon to get you guys going. And what we want to do is have the 2 seasons overlap a little bit. Because what I want to do is conclude season 1 with a challenge that season 2 begins. And so we're going to see, are women better than men at design?
Probably.
You really want to go there, huh?
Why not? Let's find out. Okay. I got a couple more quick announcements to make, you guys. December 13th, Thursday at 7 to 9:30 p.m. We're going to see you at the Future Meetup right here in our office. We've been talking about opening up the space. We're having a little party. So I think it is all sold out right now. So looking forward to seeing you guys. And if you're a Future Pro member and you didn't get your reservation in, if you weren't able to get a ticket, don't worry. We got you. We know who you are. Just show up and let them know that, you're Future Pro. That's how you roll.
Also, just if you don't have a ticket yet, just reach out to somebody.
No, Ricky. Don't. What are you doing?
I don't know.
That goes against the entire system. Right. Now you're just opening up like, Chris, I got 10 people who are asking me. I'm like, no, we have our 150. Yeah. You snooze, you lose. That's the way it is. I'm just making an exception for Future Pro members, because membership has its privileges.
That's true.
All right, Matthew wanted to remind me to tell you guys, we have a podcast.
Some people don't know.
I know. And some people only know us from the podcast, or somebody only knows us through our email newsletter, which is kind of weird. So it's I just want to tell you guys, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, and just recently, we're also on Spotify, you guys. I think we're into season 2. I think we might be up to, how many episodes do we have, Matthew?
I think we're close to 60.
60. I was going to say
almost,
50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, almost 60, I believe.
And it's unique content, okay? There's only a couple of overlap episodes where we have both YouTube and podcasts, but otherwise they're very different. They're very conversational. I can go deep and just talk to one person for a good length of time. It is a very different vibe. So definitely check us out on wherever you get your podcast from. And this might be a little controversial, Matthew.
Why?
We're splitting the channel.
Oh, you're making
I'm going to make the announcement right now, right here.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so it's going to be called the Future Academy. We're moving all our design content over. This is a work in progress logo, Future Academy, FA, That's what we're going to do.
Why are we doing this, Chris?
It's because we have too much content, to be honest. We have over 800 episodes, and what we have a problem now. It's like we can't release multiple episodes a day because it's taking up too much of your time. So what we want to do is split it off. Those of you guys that love the design stuff, go to the Future Academy YouTube channel. It has no content just yet. Or stay here for all the business mindset negotiation stuff that we normally do. If you want both, subscribe to both. It's not going to hurt you. I think it's just more for people, more options. And I think what we want to do is do what we've been telling people to do, which is to specialize. Pick a lane, go for it. And we've started to diversify our content a little bit too much, making it a little bit harder to follow, okay? And last but not least, with the encouragement of Jonah and Matthew and a couple other people, friends of ours from the internet, they told us, put our hat in the ring and see if we can do something with Casey Neistat and do a collab with 368. So the hashtag's out there. If you guys follow me on Twitter, really appreciate you guys liking or retweeting that. I don't know what kind of influence that's going to have on Adobe. Who knows? We've done it. Now it's kind of up to the gods to decide what we're going to do. Okay, Matthew, do we have any questions or comments coming in just yet?
We got a lot of questions on the Slido already.
All right, beautiful.
Excuse me.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to start addressing them now.
Let's do it. I mean, is there a good question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Guys, this show is all about you, okay?
Right.
Let's do it.
So the top one right now is from Anonymous. It says, I've never created a case study before. What do I talk about in a case study, and what's the importance of them? Well, I want to say that a case study is a little bit different than just a straight up portfolio piece, because what you see most often in a lot of people's portfolios is just images or a video of what it is they did, the final work with very little context. A case study goes way more in depth. So usually a case study will highlight what is the overview of the project, what was your role in the project, what was the challenge, what were the unique insights that you came up with, and then what were the results of the work that you did, as well as showing all the images and process along the way. The reason why you make case studies is so that your clients, your peers, anyone who's interested in working with you can have an idea of how you work and what some of the results you might be able to accomplish for them. So that's what's really important about case studies. It's really just giving a lot of context to how effective your work was.
Fantastic.
There you go.
I'll leave it like that. I think what we want to do, our agenda today is to try and knock out as many of your questions as possible, you guys. So Salix from YouTube is asking, why don't you have more and cooler merch? Because we're not that cool.
That's a burn.
I mean,
what are you trying
that
to
is
say?
a burn.
That's a
You know what?
personal
That's
challenge
cool.
right there.
That's cool. Because we'll just give everybody else who thinks it's cool free merch then. That's
Ooh,
just the way
there
it'll
you go.
do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you won't get any.
Yeah, you won't get any. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not in the
this
merch
up, man.
business, you guys.
We're not.
What am I saying? Hold on a second. Is this the hat I'm wearing here? Yeah, you guys, maybe you don't like it. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. What else we got?
All right. So another question we have up to the top. It says, I'm trying to network online and awkwardly trying to network in person in hopes to find more clients. What are other ways I can find hot leads?
Hot leads. Matthew,
leads.
take it.
Good question.
I think
Oh,
you
man.
wrote an article on this, right?
Yeah. Well, one way that you could do it, honestly, a lot of the networking I do is just straight up reaching out, usually DMing through Instagram, through LinkedIn, through Twitter. So if I find somebody that I'm interested in because, I follow them, I'm genuinely into their content and I'm curious about them, I just engage like a normal human being. Usually I approach them and say, hey, love your work, love what you're talking about. I have a question for you. I was curious about this thing, or I highly related with this article you just put out. So I start by complimenting them, and I'm not trying to be fake at all. I'm just trying to really connect with them. Usually they respond to the flattery, and then from there, I follow up with just getting to know them better. So establishing a real relationship first.
Yeah.
Before I make any kind of ask, because I think that's the problem that most people have is I get a lot of these DMs, and I'm sure you do, Chris,
Yes.
where somebody's going to DM you and say, hey, love your stuff on the future. Can you review my portfolio?
Actually, they don't even go with love your stuff on the future.
They
Like,
just say, can you
hey,
look
we're
at
a dev shop from India. We're a dev shop from China. Why don't you give us work? And that's definitely something you don't want to do.
Right. So if you're trying to sell something in the very first line of your guys' interaction, regardless if that's in person or online, that's the wrong way to go. You just have to develop a really good relationship like a normal human being.
Yeah. I think what you need to do is develop a multi-prong strategy. There's a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy. So if you need to eat, and if you need to eat like right now because you're super hungry, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. You have to go to functions. You have to be very direct and upfront. But as Matt said, it's good to build a genuine relationship with somebody, and don't start the relationship with, I need something from you.
Mm-hmm.
Flip that. Say, what can I do to help you?
Mm-hmm.
Start there and see what you can develop. But the long-term strategy is really what you should be working on. And while you're watching this channel, I think it's because you should be doing content marketing. You should put out valuable pieces of content out there to help people understand how to do something. It could be a logo, how to build a website better, how to draw something in Illustrator, whatever it is that is your craft and stock and trade. Put that stuff out there. It's going to take some time for you to develop an audience, usually, although there are anomalies that people get instant viral hits and attention. But you build that up slowly so you get potential and prospective clients to come to you. I much prefer that approach than the, hey, you got a job?
Right.
You're kind of just very desperate at that point.
Right.
But you probably want to mix the two.
Right.
Okay?
So if you do have to knock on doors and you need to find work right now, you still have to do the long-term thing. That's for sure. The longer you wait on that, the longer you're going to be behind. So if you don't start today, you're adding another day behind. But if you need to contact somebody right now, what's important is to find compelling events. And a compelling event in sales terms essentially is something where they need to act right away. There's some urgency behind something that has happened. So I gave this example last week when we spoke to Jonathan Stark. But if you're looking to work with tech companies and you're in that vertical, just look online and look at all the companies that just went IPO, that just got funded. These are companies that have just got an big infusion of money and are ready to spend it. And usually they get that money for reasons for growth. So one way to grow is through marketing, through branding, whatever that is. So I would look for companies that are in your vertical, your specialty, your niche, and look for those compelling events where something has happened and they are ready to spend money.
I'll give you another tip, you guys, especially if you're from a developing country and it's very hard to establish leads because the local economy is not doing great. There are not a lot of opportunities for creatives out there, right? So here's what I'm going to say to you is reach out to design companies who might have overflow work. Just let them know, hey, if you need help, I'm here. I can do X, Y, and Z. And then the design companies that are basically will be your competitor one day, they do need to find people just like you because they're gonna use freelancers. They're gonna use a larger pool of talent than the ones that exist within the building. So if you do that, there's a good chance if you send the right email, if you have the right kind of work and you're sincere and you align what you do with what they do and you find a good fit and don't just spam everybody, there's a good chance you get some overflow work. As a matter of fact, I just was talking to one of the pro members today, Ashley, who's based out of Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
She's an excellent presentation designer. So when somebody called me up and said, hey, do you know anybody that does that? Of course, I know somebody that does that. Luckily, where we've been at in terms of our business and how long we've been doing this, we know a lot of people. So I try to remember who did a really good job, who's reputable, who's honest and sincere and authentic. Let me refer that person. So Ashley and the person who called me, which was Nicole, they hit it off.
That's awesome.
They connected. So I don't know what's going to come from that, but that's basically how you network. You make your network work for you.
That's right.
A buddy of ours, Aaron Pearson, would say this quite often. Show me your network and I'll show you or I'll tell you your net worth. So you guys, you got to get to know more people. That's the thing. Okay. And it begins with genuine relationships. So I'm making an assumption here that you actually do something that you're good at. I mean, if you're just a junky designer, no magic tricks are going to help you. You just should practice on your craft. But if you have a good portfolio of, I would say 5 to 7 pieces that are consistently done for one specific vertical, and you've established what it is that you do, you should be able to get some leads. All right? Let's move on. Okay? This comment is coming in from Khadija from YouTube. He's asking, how can I submit my logo for review? I hope it's a dude. I'm not sure. I can't tell. How can I submit my logo for review? You guys, we have a Facebook page. You should know that by now. We have a Facebook page. If you go there, you look for The Futures here on Facebook, you'll see a call for submissions for logo therapy. We have now 3 groups of logo therapists, soon to be 4 groups. So we're going to get through this, but we can only review 2 logos at a time. So your odds of being reviewed are quite low, but that's significantly improved if you actually submit it to the right place. Otherwise, you have 0 chance.
That's right.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's keep rocking and rolling.
All right. I got another good question.
All
here.
right.
So it's from our Slido. If you guys have questions, make sure you drop it in there. Instructions are
So
in the
Matthew, what's the
description.
code again? Go to slido.com. The code is what, 1892 or something like that?
It's 1862.
1862. I was off by 1.
It's not your
digit.
birthday.
Nope. Oh, it's killing me.
Dang.
All right. No, let's cut that out. All right.
So here's the question. When it comes to improving, do you dedicate time to learn new things or do you learn as you go? Learn while working on a project or say, no, you can't do it? I don't know about the second part of that question, but basically, do you set time aside to learn or do you just learn as you go?
That's a great question. And my answer is going to infuriate my wife, but I'm going to say it anyways. I always use projects as an opportunity to learn something new. Even when we do these webinars or Inside the Dojo episodes, I'm reading a book right before we get on air because I just want to use it as an excuse to learn something new. Or if I'm working on a layout or a design, I want to try a new trick or a new resource or something. And I'm burning up a lot of my free time to do that. But I always feel really good, even if the design isn't, that I've learned something. And that's really important to me. And that's what's kept me going for 23 plus years. What about you, Matthew?
I'm a little bit of both. So sometimes during the week, I will just set aside a few hours to read a book, to read some content, watch some content. Actually, in all of my in-between phases is when I'm learning the most. So when I'm commuting to work, it's a 30-minute drive for me. I either put on a piece of content to study and dissect and break apart, or I'm listening to a podcast and enriching my brain.
Nice.
So wherever I'm doing something, I'm trying to overlap where I can split my attention. Multitasking right there. And then obviously on the job, I'm always trying to improve. And, with the stuff that we do here at The Future, we're a startup, we're a growing company, and we don't have the game plan. We're always changing things every week. So we're trying to learn new ways to teach you guys, to sell our products, to market, to improve our website and our content. So constantly, I'm looking to how can we improve this? And I'm looking in many different directions to find the answer for that.
Matthew, I think this is now maybe a time for us to change it up a little bit, change up the speed instead of answering all these questions. Yesterday, we did a really long marathon live stream when we're really diving in deep about overcoming client objections. That's what we were doing yesterday. And I want to pick up on that a little bit, okay? Some of you guys have watched this episode already on how to negotiate anything, or you went to one of my workshops, so you'll be familiar with this. And I'm really into cinema, so I think they're really well-crafted stories that we can learn something from. So every once in a while, I'll pick something from a film and I'll dissect it and I'll break it down and try to apply it to what it is that we do. Such movie is a movie called Thank You for Smoking. Thank You for Smoking. And it's with Aaron Eckhart.
Yep.
Thank you, Aaron Eckhart. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, Matthew. We're going to be thespians today. And you're going to play the role of the son, Joey.
Okay.
And I'm going to be the dad, Nick. Okay. And he's a lobbyist for the tobacco industry. Okay. He does something horrible. Let's get over that part. But what he does is he's an amazing person who understands how to construct an argument to win. Okay. So what you and I are going to do in this scene, it's an argument over the best flavor of ice cream. So I'm going to jump right into the middle scene. They're kind of at a fairground or something like that. And they're going to talk because Joey wants to know what his dad really does. So here we go, okay? So we'll just stay on our own screens. We'll just stay on our faces while we act it out here, okay? So Joey's a little kid. Nick is a lobbyist, and I'm the dad. So go ahead.
So I'm the kid?
Yeah, you're the kid, Joey.
Okay. So what happens when you're wrong?
No, Joey. I'm never wrong.
Well, you can't always be right, right?
Well, if it's your job to be right, then you're never wrong.
But what if you are wrong?
Okay, let's say you're defending chocolate and I'm defending vanilla. Now, if I were to say to you, vanilla is the best flavor of ice cream, you'd say...
No, chocolate is.
Exactly, but you can't win that argument. So I'll ask you, so you think chocolate is the end-all and be-all of all ice cream, do you?
It's the best ice cream. I wouldn't order any other.
Oh, so it's all chocolate for you, is it?
Yes, chocolate is all I need.
Well, I need more than chocolate. And for that matter, I need more than vanilla. 51. I believe we need freedom and choice when it comes to our ice cream, and that, Joey Naylor, that is the definition of liberty.
But that's not what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
But you didn't prove that vanilla was the best.
I didn't have to. I proved that you're wrong. And if you're wrong, I'm right. And scene. All right.
Nice.
Let's dissect that. All right. Thank you. Woo! Okay.
You should have brought your Emmy, right?
Yeah, where's my Emmy?
It's in the kitchen.
Dang it. Somebody go. No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Maybe later.
I wasn't going to get it. No.
Maybe if I want to flex a little bit. Maybe. All right.
So Chris, for the people that just watched that, how can they apply that to a client interaction?
Let's break it down. Let's try to understand what's going on. This is just 2 pages from the script, and so it's a very basic thing. So what's interesting to me, well, why don't we do this? Rather than me just tell you right up front like what it all means and break it down Chris Dojo style, let's talk to our people on the internet. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, let's take a moment here to try to understand why was Nick able to win the argument, or did he win the argument? What is your opinion on that? All right. Thank you, Lando, for super chatting us. Appreciate it. What do you guys think? Now, Ricky and Aaron, I don't think you guys have heard that part before, or maybe haven't focused on it.
I've seen that part of the movie. It's great.
Yeah, I know you've seen it, but you've seen a lot of things in life.
Okay.
So break it down for us. What's happening? What's the dynamic? And then what is Nick doing to manipulate the conversation?
I think he's shifting the argument so that he is always going to be one step ahead of his son.
How so?
So his son is arguing one thing, but Nick is arguing a thing that he knows he can win. Because when you argue from liberty and freedom, you can't lose that argument. So he's saying by rooting it in that kind of a way, he's always going to be right.
Okay, that's one way to look at it. That's pretty good. No, that's pretty good. Because I'm going to test you in a little bit, Ricky.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get into a price negotiation with Matthew in just a second. So I want you to get ready to see if you can apply that.
Okay.
I mean, because when Matthew talks to you about your price, can you be able to talk about liberty and the pursuit of happiness?
I hope so.
Well, let's see what happens there. This could make for comedy gold right now, you guys. Aaron, what's your takeaway on that? How do you dissect that scene apart? What can you peel away in terms of the things you've learned?
I was thinking that by controlling the topic of conversation, you control the conversation. So if you're talking to someone about something that you're not in control of, like chocolate or vanilla, just change the conversation topic and start talking about something else, and now you can just control the narrative.
Okay.
That's a good point, too.
That's a Don Draper saying.
All right. That's pretty good.
Thank you, Matthew.
All right. Anything else that you guys can peel away from this? I just want to give whoever's watching this on the live stream a chance to think and to put some of their thoughts into the comments.
Let's see what the comments people are saying.
That's a good idea. Let's check it out. What are they saying?
He took control, causing doubt in the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's charisma kind of helped out. So,
Well, you're just saying I'm charismatic is what you're saying.
No, they're saying a different channel analyzed the same clip.
Oh, really?
Charisma and command is.
Charisma and command?
Yeah.
Okay, they've already done this?
Mhm.
All right, so maybe I'll do something.
oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I misread that. Sorry.
I just changed the conversation.
Okay. Well, now what we can do is this. Maybe we can look at the script together. Will that help? Now, I don't think we need to do that. Okay, here's the thing that we're doing, okay? So Joey has a position, right? Joey's the kid. That's Matthew. Matthew has a position, and he's going to say, it doesn't matter if chocolate or vanilla. And then I'm never going to defend my position. You see, so I don't take a position. All I do is try to look at the flaw of your logic. You see what I'm saying? So whatever Matthew says, he's like, well, chocolate's the best ever. So now I'm looking like, well, let's take that to the extreme. What's the extreme version of, well chocolate's better than vanilla? So it's chocolate all the time. There's no flavor better than chocolate for you. And then make him commit to something. And he didn't even mean to say that. And that's why Joey responds to his dad and saying, that's not what we're talking about. You manipulated me.
Yeah.
So all I do is I force the other person to double, quadruple down on what it is that they're thinking.
I notice you do that by asking questions.
I do.
Because when you ask questions,
Yes.
you're controlling.
Very good, Aaron.
Yeah.
So this is what Dan Locke says. He says, whoever asks more questions in a conversation is in control of the conversation. So what we can do is we can apply this in real time to a client interaction, and you guys can then see how this works. But I don't want to move on just yet until we extract every little piece of knowledge from this. So then what he does, he's like saying, well, if chocolate is it and nothing else is better, that's kind of like a dictatorship or totalitarian kind of point of view. You're an absolutist, right? It's only this, always like this. So if you're all about that, well then what's my position then? Well, I believe in choice. And choice means freedom. And that's the American way, isn't it? So why would you want to stick to just chocolate? He's like, well, what are we talking about? You know, then he gets frustrated. And that's exactly what's happening, you guys.
What should Joey have done once he sees that he's losing control?
Oh, okay.
You know,
That's a very good question. Aaron's bringing the fire today. Good job, Aaron. Good job. Every once in a while he brings it, and he's bringing it straight lava today.
Something going on in
There
that
is something.
room.
Maybe he's like elevating.
Next level, guys.
Next
I'm
level.
up here.
All right, dude. You are now, I don't know what the next belt is. You're no longer white belt, you're yellow belt.
Hey, there it is.
There you are. You're next level, dude. Okay, so let's do this, Aaron. Let's try to apply what you just learned, and you can be Joey this time with no script.
Ooh,
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
How about we're all Joey in this room?
No, you are Joey, and
Okay.
I just want to say this, okay, is that people have been watching and commenting saying Aaron is he's moving up. He's been learning.
Is
So
that right?
yeah, they do say that if you read the comments. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna get right to the part where it says, okay, so this is the dad, me, okay, and you are the kid. So I'm saying like, so you're defending chocolate, I'm defending vanilla, right? So you're saying that chocolate, I'm sorry, I'll just read it right here. So vanilla is the best flavor of ice cream. You'd say what?
I like chocolate the best.
Chocolate is the best?
Yeah.
Well, but you can't win that argument, so I'll ask you, so you think chocolate is end all and be all of ice cream, do you?
No, I just prefer it, and I believe that everyone should choose the flavor they love best.
So what are you saying? Is vanilla better than chocolate?
I'm saying that. See, now I'm just gonna
For
take
you.
for me.
This is gonna be
It's-
like Ricky. This.
I'm just gonna. I feel like I'm just gonna steal your argument by making it about choice. So like, I believe in choice. I believe in the
All right,
right
I know
to
what.
choose.
I know what. What we can do, Aaron, is we can move it on to a different topic, so there's no script for either of
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Let's do
Then
that.
we have
Let's
a
do
fair
that.
fight. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. Why don't people who are watching this let us know what kind of thing that we should be arguing about? And Carrie wants to know, why is there smoke?
Hey, sometimes it's
Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Everybody relax.
I don't know. They decided to get the fog machine out, and now it's all foggy in that room. And I don't want to be in there with those guys right now.
Or that's what we said. You know.
Okay.
You never know.
It's hot. It's hot in there. It's hot in here too. Okay. Hopefully you guys can breathe. Okay, thank you for smoking.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Oh, very poignant. No?
See? On topic, dude. Poignant. All right, you guys. There's 222 people now watching, so we got to get something good right now, you
everybody.
guys.
Yeah.
All right. So, Matthew, why don't you pull up a scenario that we didn't go over yesterday? Because there were people like, oh, you should have said this or that.
Scenario, man. Now you're making
us a
me
scenario,
pull
man.
it out of.
Pull it out of your brain.
Oh man.
Come on, you can do it. Aaron, you got a situation?
Someone's online suggested perhaps something about a typeface, argue over the best type, but that sounds very similar
No,
to ice cream.
yeah, it's super subjective. Yeah. Let's I tell you what, Aaron, you've worked with clients before. You pick something that you're familiar with, so I don't want to put you at an additional disadvantage.
Something that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about like I'm trying to sell a real estate guy a video about a listing, like he wants to make a video about a
Okay,
listing.
that's pretty good.
Yeah?
What are we going to argue about?
The price.
So yeah,
Okay.
you're the real estate guy, Chris.
Okay, but you have to give me the conflict so that we can set it up properly.
To a specific like
Yeah,
point
like
of
you want to charge
contention
something, he
here.
wants to lowball you or whatever it is. Give me the scenario you've seen many, many times before.
Okay, so he just hands me down like a price. He's like $500 is
what I got.
What I got, yeah.
Okay. So Matthew, you got it?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
am I
You're the guy.
roping?
Because we want to keep
Okay.
it consistent, right?
Okay, so
Because you're always the client now.
okay, I'm the client. I'm
Yeah.
the realtor guy.
And I want you to be a little bit aggressive with Aaron.
Sure.
And you're not a creative guy, so you can't speak to any of that kind of stuff. So you're going to be a real estate broker, and you need a video done for one of your property listings, and you want to pay Aaron $500.
Okay.
Okay, and you're going to dictate the terms.
And how aggressive
So-
am I? 1 to 10?
You're the know-it-all client of the
Know-it-all
four
client.
client types. You're the
Okay.
know-it-all, and I'd say I would say bring some edge.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be rude. Be professional, but be tough, borderline belligerent. All right. Let's see how Aaron handles himself.
Oh, man,
I'm looking
getting
forward to
nervous,
this.
dude. I'm
Somebody,
having a flashback here.
give me the popcorn. He's having flashbacks right now. Sorry.
All right.
PTSD.
All right. Are we ready?
We ready? Go ahead.
Okay.
Start it off, Matt.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Aaron. So I got this listing down the street in a really rich neighborhood, and I need you to do a video. I got $500 for you.
I would love to do this video. That sounds great.
Great.
But $500 seems
It's a lot of
little
money,
low.
right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, right?
Well, I was thinking it seems low. And I
Low?
was wondering, where'd you come up with that number?
$500? Haven't you done a video for $500 before?
I think the first video I ever made for someone, I made for 500 about
Yeah.
4 years ago.
So why can't you do that for me?
Well, I feel like,
It's the same video, right? Same skills, same everything.
I mean, I feel like I've grown a lot since then. And I feel like I'm in a place where I just can't financially make it feasible to do videos for 500. I'm sure you could find someone maybe that's just starting out. I could refer you to some people.
No.
that would do it for
I want you
500.
to do it because you could do it faster now, right?
I could do it faster, yeah. I mean, yeah, I could do it a lot faster.
Right. So
Yeah.
it'll take you less time. So $500 is even more money because now I'm paying you more per hour, right?
So is the speed in which the video is done, is that really important to you? Is that the most important thing?
Yeah. I mean, if it could get done right now, that'd be awesome.
Well, that's the thing. I don't make videos based like, for me, the speed at which it's done, I mean, if that's what you value, then I don't think we're a good fit. Because for me, I want to help you grow your business. I want someone to see that video and just come straight to the house and be interested in buying it.
Yeah,
the
let's-
fact that
let's
it was
do
made
that.
fast is not.
Okay.
I feel like you value the speed of the thing being done super fast, and I don't think I'm the right guy for you, man.
No, you just asked me that. Of course, I want this property to sell, right? The longer it's on the market, the more it's going to go down in value.
Right.
So I just want to sell it as soon as possible. So whatever it's going to take, I need to sell that house, man.
I feel you. So selling that house quickly sounds like is just the most important thing here that we should both be focusing on if
That's right.
hypothetically we work together.
That's right.
Okay, well then, I mean, how much is selling this listing worth to you?
Let's see. It's a $1 million house, and then I get my commission on there. So you do the math because I can't.
Sounds like a couple thousand?
It's 2.5% usually.
2.5%.
Yeah, or 2%.
There we go.
So 2% on $1 million is what?
Is that 20K?
10% is 100K.
$10 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100K. So then
20K.
1% is 10K. So 20K.
Yeah, 20K.
20K. Okay, so you're doing better than me, man. I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, but Aaron, I got to put a lot of work into it. Like, I know you're making the video for me. I totally get that. And $20,000 seems like a lot. But do you imagine how many meetings I've had with the clients, how many meetings I have to have after the client, all the marketing material I have to make, the flyers, the website for this stuff, the listings, it goes on and on and on. By the time I'm done with it, the longer I spend on this, the more money I'm going to lose. So you understand why I need to sell this quickly and why I'm looking for somebody like you, because you're a pro, right?
I would like to think so, yes.
So
It sounds like what you're saying is, I mean, you got a lot on your plate here. There's a lot of work goes into earning that 20,000.
Absolutely.
And this video is just, I mean, you don't want to have to worry about it, right?
Absolutely.
It'd be great if you didn't have to worry about that. So I feel like I could take that off of your plate and make sure it's done right, so that video will not be a problem.
That's
you don't
right.
have to worry about it.
That's right.
But in order to do that, I don't think I can do that for 500. That's a problem.
Why not?
It's just not enough. It's not enough. And if you can find someone that can do that for 500, I totally think you should go do that, because why spend money when you don't have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably could, but I'm just curious, why can't you do it for 500?
Well, I mean,
You've done it before. You said you've done it for 400.
I've done it before, but where I'm at with my business, it doesn't make financial sense for me to make it for 500. I can't do it. I got to say no to other clients that are paying more to say yes to you. And I just can't
Dangle
do it.
I got more work for you, Matthew.
Okay.
Dangle that in front of him.
Yeah, well, I do listings all the time. I probably sell about 6 houses a month. What if we do some kind of package deal, man? What if I give you 10 of these?
Package deal sounds good. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. That's $5,000.
Oh, you mean at 500 a piece?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
That's what a package deal means.
Yeah.
The thing is, now I feel like I'm doing 5 times the work, and it's just, I mean, I just don't think that sounds like a lot of work that for a little bit of money, I can't make it feasible, man. I'm sorry.
Wait,
Although that sounds great, I
Uh-huh.
think I'm gonna have to say no to you at this point, man. But you know what? I can give you some recommendations of people that can do this for 500, and you should talk to them. And if it doesn't work out with them, I will be here, and we can reopen this conversation up at another time.
All right. Let's end it there. Big round of applause for Aaron, you guys. Woo! Good job, Aaron. Hey, I've seen a lot of growth in you. Now Aaron cries.
I took a lot of CPU power, dude.
It's overheating in there.
You got to update the Intel processor and the motherboard. I definitely recommend a little bit more RAM. So that smoke effect is probably just really Aaron smoking. His brain is on fire right now. Good job, Aaron. I see a lot of promise in you there.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to read a couple of comments. HXT Sauce brand design says Matthew's aggressive is like a friendly cat scratch mixed with pillows.
He seemed nice. He seemed very
Yes,
polite.
he seems very nice and
Was
polite.
that nice?
Yes, Matthew, I'm telling you, you're just a
That's
nice
your
guy.
greatest skill, man.
You're just a
You're
really
chill.
nice guy.
What is-
But
oh.
Daniel Bonato is saying, "Holy moly, Matt is terrifying." So it's all over the place. But Matt, I will do mean with Aaron in a little bit, and then you'll see straight fire. I think you guys better turn off that smoke regime.
We did 4 hours ago.
Did it? It's still going, dude.
Just kidding.
All right, I'm here. Hit him on value. Okay, what did Aaron do well? What could he do better? Okay, you guys that are watching this on the live, 270 of you guys. What did Aaron do well? What could he do better? Let's start with what he did well. Let's just start writing it in, guys.
I got one.
All right, go ahead. Feed us.
He tried to kill the engagement,
Yes, he did.
which is what you say all the time
Yes,
from that book.
from the book of the gospel, Win Without Pitching Manifesto
That's very
by
true.
Mr. Blair Enns. Okay. What else did he do? Well,
He held his ground.
he did hold his ground.
He didn't budge. I tried
Yes.
to make him make a bunch of concessions and negotiate against himself, and he didn't. And I tried maybe 3 or 4 different ways. Tried the package deal, right? And tried to poke at, well, have you done it before at this price? And I got him to say yes to that. Well, what about now? And then I'm just trying to make him feel insecure about why he might be charging me so much. So I was trying to tackle it at least 3 different angles there.
Yeah.
It was working because I felt the pressure to cave many times.
Did you?
Yeah.
And what kept you from caving, Aaron?
Well, that crystal voice in my head. I just felt like,
That's a good voice, then.
it's like I can't say yes to this. I got to find a way
Why?
to say no.
Why? What does that mean to you?
Because if I say yes, I'm just accepting the old Aaron ways of doing cheap work, and then it's a contentious relationship, and it's just all bad. And I don't want that. So
You're moving on from that because
Yeah.
you would take on that job and you would resent the client and you would beat yourself up and you would hate the process the entire time,
yeah,
right?
I've been there before.
Probably
wanna
like
do
even
that.
like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. So you got to keep reminding yourself like that's not a comfortable place to return to. That it's better to deal with the conflict now so that you avoid the conflict later, right? Otherwise, you're going to be super passive aggressive the entire time. You're going to burn the relationship. They're going to think poorly of you, and they might even badmouth you and take it even further and report you to the Better Business Bureau.
Very true.
And you don't want to do that. So if it's not going to work for you, you need to walk away. Now, what we want to do is to act as if we're walking away, but we want Matthew to commit. So the goal is for Matt to hire you at your price,
Right.
which you were never able to say. Were you able to say a price,
no,
Aaron?
No.
Right. Because you got stuck on his price because he said the price first. And that's one of the problems. Whoever says the price first wins. It's contrary to what you know. Jonah, you gave me the finger like,
No,
yo.
no,
He said dropping that anchor.
Drop
Drop an
anchor.
anchor.
Do we have an
do that on
anchor
camera.
sound?
Do that on camera. I do not. Go ahead. Do that on camera.
Dropping that anchor.
But with
I
a hand
never-
gesture.
Oh, whatever this is. just
Yeah,
let
that's
it
what
go.
you're doing. Like he's Vanilla Ice
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
about to-
No, he's like Eminem. Like
Sick beats are about to be thrown.
yeah, sick beats. Drop the beat.
So there's a couple more feedback here in terms of
Okay.
what he did well. So Divad says, oh, he offered references, which we know is killing the engagement.
Yes.
Mackenzie says he asked questions to find out what the value was to the client, both monetarily and time-wise.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And then Angel Velasquez says he didn't let money be a leverage. So he didn't let that take over him in terms of giving that to the client. So
Yeah.
those were good things that Aaron had done.
And Matthew even helped you. He even said, like, why don't we package it? I'll give you 10 projects so there's economies of scale. Most clients don't even say that. They just say, I have more projects. You want to do this one? I could be keeping you busy all year long.
Which is very tempting because that
Yeah.
sounds
So
amazing.
he even helped you by saying, I'll package it up for you. And usually you have to negotiate for that, right? So he was actually being very nice. A lot of clients don't even say that. They just try and browbeat you the entire time, and they dangle the carrot in front of your face. Ooh, Jonah's just quick on that edit. He saw my hand go up, and he's like, "Woo, let's go wide."
Getting better.
Yeah, he is getting better. Okay, maybe it's the smoke. I hope it's just
We're
water.
all performing at
It's all
this
vapor, right,
higher
guys?
level.
It's all
Elevated
vapor.
level.
All right, here's some things that I think you could do better. Okay, I think you need to have a pretty clear understanding what you want from this conversation, Aaron. You need
Like
to know
price-wise,
going in.
right?
Price wise,
I want this price. I want it to work this way, or I want to get the heck out of Dodge. Okay? Because you never got to say your price. It's important to say your price because then you anchor back and he can say, well, what kind of money are we talking about? So he can't negotiate with you because you've given him no amount of money to negotiate with. So how much money would you have been happy to get?
1,000 to 2,000.
Well, you just say one price.
1,000.
2,000.
2,000? Okay. So if he
more.
gave you 2,000 to do that, he's giving you 10% of his commission, which is a lot.
Okay, so maybe 1,000. Ricky's right.
Well, no, it's okay. You get to ask,
ready to
guys,
concede.
no matter what, you get to determine the price and they get to determine if it's fair for them. You guys need to understand this, okay? It has nothing to do with what it costs you to make because a transaction happens when both parties, both you and the buyer, see an exchange in value that's greater than what you're giving up.
So you say the word we say the word fair.
How come you're all muffled, dude?
I don't know.
Getting close.
Is this good?
That's better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe
There
this-
you go. There
oh,
you go.
this-
Yeah,
so
you're on
this
the wrong
side-
side of the mic, dude. Come
Both
on.
ways.
We tried to fix that. Okay, so I hear you say the word fair a lot. How do you determine what's fair? Because what's fair for me and what's fair for you is two completely different numbers.
I was thinking
Good one.
that- yeah,
Good one.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I can answer that. I was going to piggyback on it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I can remember.
No, like, I felt like the whole time I was super afraid of that question. Like, if I were to say a price, he would be like, "Well, where are you getting that from?" And I'm afraid of the
my
answer. I
gosh,
got no
Aaron.
answer.
Okay, so we've grown, but we've not totally grown up.
Yeah.
We've grown a lot, but you have to be able to say to yourself, this is what I want to make, and this is what I'm going to do it for. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to playing Xbox or whatever it is I'm going to do. I'm going to go smoke another joint. It's fine. You don't need this kind of grief in your life, right?
Right.
All right. So Ricky brings up a very interesting point and something I want you guys to think about, okay? He's like, well, fair, isn't that relative and subjective? 100% it is. Just like beauty, right?
Right.
Okay, so if we know that, like, for example, you could say that food, that taco that you ate at lunch was really spicy, but that's your level of spicy. And for me, it's just like black pepper, dude. You can handle a little bit more heat than that. So what we want to do is we want to have a conversation, and when we want to establish what's fair in the other person's mind. And I'm checking it against what I feel is fair. And if we can meet somewhere where we feel like we're both getting something out of it, then we do the deal. But because Aaron wasn't able to talk about that, Matthew's just thinking, oh, this guy's going to try and bleed me right now. And you're talking to an expert negotiator, because if Matthew's in the real estate space, he negotiates all day long. He eats people like you up for breakfast. All right? He's doing high-powered, high-stakes negotiations all the time. Okay? So you have to be able to start to talk about money and to feel that you're worth it. And you don't need to justify it.
You don't need to justify.
You don't need to justify it. Okay? You don't need to justify it. The other thing is,
You have to be willing to walk away from that project then, though. Because
100%.
Yeah, so you have to say your number and be like, if
Oh.
they accept it, they accept it, and if they don't, I'm okay with not making any money then.
yeah. So let's mind flip this right now. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's mind flip it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay? I think you go into a transaction thinking, I don't want to lose this.
Right. I think most people
So
do that.
you assume you already have it.
Right.
So you're working against a loss, a fear of loss.
Right.
All right? Why don't you walk into the room like, I didn't have this job.
Okay.
Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. I don't know.
Okay.
And if they come to me with the right terms and I like them and I believe in what they're doing, yes, I will help them. Otherwise, I'm out of here.
Right.
Okay? Because more people will act based on a fear of loss than the desire of gaining something. Do you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so we will act because we're afraid to lose something. But if I tell you, if you do this one thing, you'll have six-pack abs or you'll make $10,000, I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Okay? So let's not work on that fear of loss and have that kind of mentality. When the phone rings and a prospect calls me up, I don't get all giddy. I don't start to wear rose-colored glasses. These are clear, see? That's just the way it is.
They're future blue.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think that. I just think, oh, easy come, easy go. My life was the same before this call rang or the phone rang, and it'll be fine afterwards. Okay?
Yeah.
So we want to change our mindset around this expectation, like you have something, because now you're afraid to lose that thing.
Okay.
All right?
That's a really good point, by the way, because it feels like I got this fish on the line, and I'm about to reel it in, and I don't want to lose it.
Yeah. And in truth, it was just a rock.
It was a
It was.
tire.
It was like it was a shoe. It was an old leather shoe.
Seaweed, man.
Yeah, it's seaweed. You know, that's how my kids fish. Like, I got something down. I'm like, is it pulling back on you? No. Then you got nothing. You got nada.
Got the ocean
Get
floor.
the back of my jacket.
Okay. Now let's do another scenario where I will do the full claws out, super crazy, angry, aggressive dude, and we'll see how you do again, Aaron. Okay.
So I'm up again?
Yeah, you're up again. And this time, I want you to ask more questions. Speak less. Ask more questions.
Oh man.
Okay.
You understand? Because you didn't, it sounded like you asked a lot of questions last time, but you didn't. I think you were doing a lot of talking, a lot of explaining, and then you would add a question mark right at the end of that statement.
Okay, so more questions.
More questions. Remember,
Okay.
be in control of the conversation. It's not about proving you're right. You are still trying to justify. You're still trying to prove something. Okay?
Okay. Give
All
us
right,
a
what's
second,
Ricky
little,
doing here?
Little mic situation here. Ricky's on
Did it break?
Yeah, we kept moving it too much.
Don't move it too much. Why don't you guys just turn it to the side and just get cheek to cheek on that? Okay, I'm hoping that people are also submitting questions and voting things up and down. Wow, I can hear myself really clear now. Matthew,
Yeah.
did you
Yeah.
plug something in?
I just had to.
Okay, we're losing each
yeah.
other. Okay, we're dealing with all kind of technical issues right now, you guys. But that's okay. The show must continue on. All right.
Keeping it loose. Keeping it loose.
KVP is liking the lighting. He's like, I can't sleep. That lighting is fire, finally. Now, let me ask you guys a question right now while we're kind of getting our game back in order here. Do you guys like my lighting better or do you like Matthew's lighting better?
Ooh.
Okay,
that's
just
a
type
good
in, either
question.
type in Matthew or Chris. Don't type in Aaron because that's like no lighting over there. Okay? They'll be heartbroken if you guys do. Yeah.
Yeah, whoever did the lighting setup.
Will you knock it
That
out?
was pretty good.
These guys take every opportunity to
Those guys,
slap themselves
whoever
on the
does that,
back.
man.
All Ricky and Jonah, man. I can't take any credit.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, Matthew, you're starting to run away with this. Guys, come on. Where's my people? Oh, my God. So, see, I knew it. You guys gave Matthew the better lighting.
See, but here's
knew
the
it.
thing, though. You
No,
got
I don't want to hear any excuse.
No, the best compliment. Somebody was like, "The sunset looks so nice on Chris's face," and I was like, "That's artificial." So that's
No,
that's
they
a really
know
nice
that.
compliment.
Come on. They know that it's artificial.
don't
It's so
know.
orange.
We don't know.
There's another thing from Flanderock, and I think we should do this after this next
Okay.
role play. He
Okay.
says, "Can you guys do a role play cold call where you are selling the services?"
That's a good one.
Because I think people requested that yesterday.
Oh, okay.
The reverse.
So, where I have to sell the service?
Yeah. So you're calling. If I'm the client, you're calling me to sell your service.
Oh, like I got to pitch my services.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like our first meeting,
Love
but
it. Okay.
you're
Let
coming.
me think
to
about
me.
this. All right.
Okay.
I'm not used to doing this. So let me just write a couple of notes here, okay?
Right.
And okay, we can do that right afterwards, you guys. So you definitely want to stick around. I'm going to do my best to try to cold call or try to generate a lead because this client wasn't even aware that we were alive up until the moment when we reached out, okay? Here we go. All right. So should we do another scenario with Aaron where he can ask more questions?
And yeah, you're gonna be vicious.
I'm already vicious. It's
What?
just like giving me an opportunity here. We're going to do this.
One of those talents.
So why don't we pull out a scenario that you've seen, Ricky?
Okay.
Or Jonah, either one of you two. Make up a scenario real quick. Tell us what the end game is and where the conflict is, and let's go.
Okay. Well, you meet with a client, and they're really jazzed up to make this project with you, a video project. And it was a set price, and you agreed on the price. And then they added something, and then you made the price more expensive, and then they got really cold feet, and it wasn't a good fit after that. Is that a good scenario?
That has so many moving parts and pieces. So we agreed to do something,
Right.
and I've added a bunch of stuff, and now Aaron has to bring up an overage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's really tough for Aaron.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So have we started production? Have I written you a check yet or not?
No.
Okay. So we've agreed in writing, or verbally. We've got an agreement,
Right.
and then I've added a few items.
Yeah. You're like,
And what kind of
well,
video is this?
So it's like a,
Corporate video?
exactly. And then
Okay.
you're like, can we add some photos? And you're like, of course, but that's gonna up the price.
Oh, you mean give me some stills from the
Exactly.
shoot?
Yeah. So can you do video and
Okay.
then can you do photos?
What's
as
the
well?
price?
It's 800,
800.
and then it's
And how much do you want to get?
it was 800 for the video.
Yeah.
And then we asked 400 more for the photos.
Wow. That's a big markup. Okay, let's go. So Aaron has to, unfortunately, bring up an overage, and everything was going great. Okay? So, hey, so Aaron, I know that you're going to do this video for us, and I really look forward to working with you.
Me too.
Can you just grab some stills from the video? Because we could use some stills.
I would love to do that. I could totally do that. I mean, the camera's already there, right? Just
Yeah,
snap
yeah.
a couple of stills, right? Shouldn't
Just
be a
pull
big
it from
deal.
just when you get a chance, can you just shoot a few still photos? No extra work.
I mean, my instincts are to say yes right away because it seems like
Let's do it.
not a big deal. But unfortunately, I feel like I'm gonna have to charge you an overage because stills is a lot more work on my part and it's a lot more of a headache. It's more to think about, so I'm gonna have to charge you a little overage. Is that okay?
Wait. How's it more work? Literally, when you're rolling your video camera and when you stop your camera, just in the exact same position, just take a photo. Don't change the lighting. Don't change anything. We're not going to move. Just give us some photos.
I see you're pretty well versed on how cameras and lighting work. That's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, I'm an enthusiast.
Enthusiast. Well, the thing is, I don't want to get too bogged down in the details. Don't want to get too tactical at this point with you, but I'm afraid that's just how I work. It's a policy. I mean, if you want to add stills, it's going to be another line item, and it's just going to be a small overage.
What like so the original price to this video for the entire day is 800. What are we talking about here? Like $100? Like I don't even know if I can do that, but is it $100 or what?
I think if you want the video and the stills, and then we haven't talked about how many stills or anything
Like 4.
like that. Okay, around 4 stills. I think for 1,000 we can just package that all together and nice round number. Does that sound okay to you?
Wait a minute. So you just want to charge me an additional $200 to take a few stills? Aaron, come on. What do you take me for here? Does that sound reasonable to you?
It's if I were you, I would say it's unreasonable. It sounds like just snap a couple of photos. I totally hear what you're saying.
Right.
But because that's the way I worked. I mean, there's just a lot of back end, which I don't want to, trouble you with all that, but I'm afraid it's just a policy. That's just how I work. I mean,
okay, so you don't want to do the stills, then I'm not sure I can work with you.
Well, if you want to keep it with 800 and we can do the video, I'm more than happy to go
No, but
forward with that.
I need some stills. I was just thinking I need some stills from this.
You know what? I know a guy, good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
And I think he can get you those stills, and then I'll just put you
Is your
in
buddy
touch with
Ricky?
him.
Yeah, he wears a jean jacket.
Yeah, actually, he is. Do you know Ricky?
Yeah, I've talked to him before. So
Great
you're saying I
guy.
should work with Ricky instead?
Well, if you want to do the stills, I'll get Ricky on that, and I think we can knock that out. I'd have to talk to him first, but that would be a separate thing. You guys would handle that. just
Oh,
on your
yeah.
own.
You know what? I think I've capped out. Like when you asked me for my budget, I told you 800, and that was the maximum that I could pay. I'm really just disappointed right now.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you're disappointed.
Man, I thought we can do this together. You know, I wasted a lot of time thinking it was going to be you. Now I'm going to have to scramble last minute and find somebody else. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, look, I feel like the conversation's getting a little heated. Maybe we should revisit this at another time.
I'm running out of time, man. The event is in 2 days.
I hear you. I don't know.
I feel like you're dragging this thing out now. Now I have no choice.
Well,
It feels
I'm
a little
sorry,
like extortion.
Oh, man. I'm sorry you feel that way. I could totally see how you'd feel that way. And
Yeah.
I'm just really
Look, help me
rethinking-
out here. Can you help me out or not?
I'm afraid not. I'm
Really?
really sorry.
Wow.
man. I'm really sorry.
All right. So, I have friends that are in this business. I was hoping that we could do this, and I'd be happy to share you as a resource to them.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What if
That's your first question, by the way.
I just feel like I'm just drowning in questions here. I
Yeah,
can't
you're drowning in
answer
questions
one
that
and
you
there's another one coming.
haven't even asked yet, but keep going.
So I feel like we made an agreement, right?
Yes.
And now you want to add something to the agreement. And now when I try to add something on my side, I feel like,
I thought you were going to ask me a
the
question.
Symmetry of logic. Well, does it seem fair to you to do more work for the same
Okay,
amount
you know
of money?
what? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, actually. That's why I was thinking maybe you can do it for $100. Can you do it for $100? That's only $100 less than you're asking for.
Well, how
why
about
don't we just
do
meet
it
in the
for-
middle right there?
Well, how about we do it for 300?
No, but you just said 1,000.
Well, it
So
feels like these
800
stills
plus
are-
200, right?
It feels like these stills are a make or break thing for you, right? They're very important.
I need
sounds
it.
like.
I need it.
You need these stills.
I need them.
Well, $100. I don't need
We're
$100.
splitting the difference here, right? You're talking about you're going to walk away from this deal. You're going to burn this relationship for $100. Is that what you're telling me?
I feel like I'm the one that wants to stay in this relationship. Are you the one that's trying to get out of this relationship? Are you not?
No, all you have
happy
to do
with-
is say yes. Why won't you say yes?
I'm sorry. I can't say yes. I can't think of a good question to ask you in return here.
So who's asking more questions in this relationship right now?
You're asking more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, and cut.
Oh.
Good job, Aaron. Good job. Woo! Woo! All of a sudden, we don't need the fog machine anymore
man.
because it's just natural fog right now. All right.
Things are
Good job,
hazy.
Aaron.
Thank you.
You know what? All this stuff makes you stronger.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got to stretch yourself. You know, when you go to the gym, you don't always lift the same weight because you're going to plateau. You got to go and pick up that extra thing that you're just dreading because it's like you're tired and it's a lot and it might crush your skull, but you're going to do it anyways, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So look, guys, I'm not usually normally this much of an a-hole. Maybe. I'm just saying usually. I'm not saying never, just usually. Okay, so you guys wanted to see what straight fire looked like. Did that feel like fire to you?
Yeah, it felt like
Sorry.
fire. I felt like my whole world was crumbling around me, dude.
Matthew, how did you? Was that uncomfortable for you guys?
No.
Oh, shut up, Ricky.
No, it was
Let's
fine.
see how you deal with that.
It was a little uncomfortable.
It's
and I
uncomfortable.
was just like, oh, come on.
What a
Aaron.
jerk, right?
Ask a question.
Yeah, but Aaron wasn't asking any
Just
questions.
Ask a question.
The thing was, like, I'm listening to every word you're saying, and then I don't have room in my head to come up with a question because I'm just listening to what you're saying.
You know what it is? Most of the time, you're just agreeing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try and pivot out of that agreement.
That's like the only tool I know how to use is the I agree, and then I try to.
You had to pivot, right?
That's
But
my
your
only
pivot is
tool.
such a hard pivot is the problem.
What do you mean?
Well, when you're trying to take him, like, I agree with you, but you should pay me. Why don't we stand next to the person and try to see the problem eye to eye? To try to demonstrate empathy. Try to get to what's the root of their request.
What's the root of their request? Well, the root of your request sounded clear. You want these photos, and you want them for 100.
That's the surface. That's not the root.
The root is you want more.
Why do I want these photos? Did you even ask me why do you need these photos?
Oh, no.
That would have been a good question.
For some
That would
Why
be
do
the
you
first
need these
question.
Photos?
That's a good point.
That's the one. That's the chink in your armor that
Hey,
I can.
hey, easy with the racial slurs there,
Oh,
dude.
sorry.
Easy there, easy there. Be careful, you're treading.
That's
tread
the
lightly.
not in the chain is what he was
All right,
trying
let's
to
not
say.
let's not go there.
Not in the chain.
There's a weakness in the chain, is what you're saying.
That would have been it, right?
All right, so you need to learn to ask questions, and you need to come from a place of curiosity and empathy, and see what happens. Because what happens is, if I start arguing with you, Aaron, you're gonna just want to argue back with me. Somebody's like, I just want to shoot that guy in the face right now. And that's a natural reaction. So what happens is the animosity, it escalates, the tension escalates. And what we want to do is we want to de-escalate. I can't get into a fight with you if you're behind me.
Right.
So you try to do the opposite of the emotion that the other person is.
No, I
giving
don't
you.
try to do, all I try to do is try to find like, wow, what's going on?
Okay.
What's going on?
Man,
Like, where
oh,
is this coming
like
from?
he didn't even say like, oh, you're under a lot of stress. Huh? I could feel it. What's going on? Well, you know what? I had a bad day at the office today. See, so he didn't even go there. He gave me no chance to explain, and all he was doing is defending.
I felt I was on the defensive big time.
Yeah, because
My
I was
mindset,
attacking.
Yeah.
So the master says, you know, when somebody throws a punch at you, the last thing you wanted to be is at arm's length. And what you were doing is, what were you doing? You're backing up so you could be right within arm's length, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you move really close to me, I can't really hit you with any real force. And at a certain point, I just get tired and frustrated, and I give up.
Okay.
Yeah?
I got
That's
that. Yeah.
that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so people are like, oh my God. Poor Aaron. They're all just laughing like crazy right now. Okay.
We're used to it
Yeah,
over here. We're good.
The punchline.
Yeah. You think you're more resilient at this point.
Comes with the territory.
No, man, we're cool. I'm cool.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
He's,
Yeah, who's
yeah, no,
not
Aaron's
cool
cool.
here? You're not cool?
I don't know. Look at Ricky. He's like, oh, we're used to this kind of downtrodden beat down, all right?
Okay.
The
All right.
posture.
I want to give Jonah an opportunity to speak. Jonah, how'd you feel about that, man?
Oh, okay.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah, be careful, guys.
That was like a little tense.
Yeah, why was it tense?
Just because from what I know, like what you just had said, that Aaron's supposed to be asking more questions, and what Dan had mentioned or always preaches, that whoever asks more questions is in control of the conversation, and that was clearly represented.
Yeah.
Dan who?
Dan Locke.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I think you guys, here's the fundamental thing that you need to start preparing in your mind. When you enter into one of these situations in real life, it's even more nerve-wracking because there's real stakes involved, right? We have stakes involved here that all the internet's watching you and saying, oh, is he going to do this or not? We want to know the outcome. But start to think, where's this person coming from? How else can I see this situation? And move around until you find a better place to start talking.
Okay.
All right?
Chris, do you have any tips to like slow things down so I have a moment
Yes.
to kind of just
Yes. Okay, so let's say that you're on an old Pentium 486 processor,
Yeah.
right? And
He
you're like,
doesn't even know what that
Yeah,
is.
we have no.
yeah.
Can you speak
It doesn't
English?
even like dum
Sounds
dum dum
slow.
dum. You know, it's like okay, whatever.
I think
So
dial-up
you buy
is the
yourself
term.
time.
Yeah.
You buy yourself time, and you go full transparent. All right. I want to give you an opportunity, Aaron, to attack me, and I'll show you what I mean.
So just roll
Just
with
launch straight into like let's flip the roles real quick, and I just want to show you one part.
it. Okay.
Okay. So I know we agreed on the price of 800, but if you could just throw in a couple of stills, I need a couple of stills. So is that going to be a problem?
Wow. I need a minute to process this because I came into this conversation with a totally different assumption that we're moving forward, and you're asking me for more things. I just need a minute to kind of figure it out.
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.
So let me ask you something. When did you know you needed more stills?
When did it just came up. Something came up, and I realized now that you're shooting video, you got the camera out, just snap a couple of stills.
So you just thought of it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that seem like it's a new request for you, or is this part of the original agreement?
I feel like, is there an issue with the stills? I feel like you got the camera out, just snap a couple of stills. Is there something I'm not understanding?
No, it's just not. It's not horribly complex. I'm not going to tell you it's complicated, but the truth of the matter is, you and I, we agreed to something, and now I feel like you're changing it. Are you?
Well, let me ask you a question. I feel like I want to work with someone that's flexible and can kind of work with me. I feel like we're already getting off to a rocky start, one little change like that, and I feel like you can't do it.
No, I didn't say that. I just wanted to ask you if it felt like this was part of the original agreement or was something different.
I mean, from where I'm coming from, it seems like a really simple thing. I mean, if this is going to be a big problem, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if is this going to be a big problem or
No. Does it sound like I'm saying it's a big problem?
kind of, yeah. I mean, if
Really?
you could just snap a little bit.
Wait, all I asked you was one question, which, and I think for whatever reason, you feel really uncomfortable to answer, which is, do you think this is part of the original agreement or is this something new? Could you just answer that for me, please?
I feel like you have a pretty clear answer of what you think that is, which is, I feel like, do you think I'm changing the agreement on you?
I think you just said you did. You just came up with this idea right now.
Right, it's just a small little...
Okay, let me ask you a
know.
question. Let me ask you just a really quick question, okay?
Sure.
And I can tell, like, there's some heat behind what you're saying. Is this something I said? Did I do something to bring this on you?
Some heat? Are you getting heat from me?
Yeah, I feel it right now.
I feel like the same
I mean,
thing.
are you
I feel
upset
like
at me?
I'm getting heat from you as well. Like, there must be something misunderstanding
What did I say
going on
that
here.
made you feel like I'm angry? I'm a little confused.
So am I. This conversation is kind of getting away from me here. I don't know where...
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. I have a responsibility in this. Why don't we start over? Okay.
Okay.
So what are you asking me to do?
If you could just snap a couple of stills, now that you're going to do the video, if you could just snap a couple of stills.
Oh,
from
yeah.
it, that'd
Okay.
be
I see
great.
what you're saying. Yeah, I'd be happy to, but that falls outside the scope that we talked about. So in order for me to do that, I have to charge you some nominal fee. Okay. Normally when people hire me to do photographs, I charge a totally separate fee. I do want to work with you. I think we originally agreed to $800. So why don't we say, let's say $1,200. Does that work for you? An additional $400?
Ooh, that is a lot more for a couple of photos. I had no idea.
I know. I agree.
Wow, that seems a little unreasonable, I have to say. Where are you coming up with that number? I just need a couple of stills, just a couple of photos. Why is it so expensive?
It's just what I charge.
I see.
I mean, if you were to hire me to do event coverage and just do photos, I would probably charge you $800 just to do that. Basically, it's just, clients do this to me all the time. They come in, they're like, oh, let's just cut a 2-minute video. And then they say it's a 3-minute video. Well, you already shot the footage. Well, it's a different scope. Right?
I guess.
I mean, what do you do again? What's your line of work
What
again?
am I again?
You're a realist, or yeah.
No, you could be anything. Just tell me something.
I run a beauty salon, and this video is to
Okay.
showcase my salon.
All right, perfect. So you run a beauty salon, and have you had clients come in and make an agreement to even just to show up at 8 o'clock, but then come half an hour later?
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. It's just come in later, right? And how does that make you feel? Like, what did you do with that half hour that you're supposed to be selling that chair?
Hold on, I feel like we're getting off track here.
Are we?
We're talking about a couple of photos, and I mean,
I'm just talking about being late to an appointment.
Right, which seems a little like we're kind of getting away from the point here. I'm trying to just close this deal.
You feel that?
Do I feel what?
Like we're getting away from it? Look, I don't want to argue with you. You have a lot of choices to make. You can choose to work with whoever you want. I make videos. I also do still photos as part of what I do. So the package price is usually a lot higher. It's usually $1,400, but I'm thinking I want to do this project with you. I'll do it for $1,200.
1,200 just seems like a lot. What if we just chop that right down the middle and, you know, I'll give you an extra 100 for the stills if it means that much to you. What do you think?
Okay, so let's see here. So at $1,200 is a lot, so that's $400 extra. So you say chop it in the middle, so that'll be $1,000. You're gonna throw an extra 100 in, so that'd be 1,100.
No, I misspoke. I mean, I think for a couple of stills, I mean, I feel from my perspective that you should throw that in. But you know what? If it means that much to you, I'm willing to pay you an extra $100 for the stills, which I think is more than generous. What do you think?
So you're gonna pay me $900 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound quite like in the middle, does it? I'll tell you what. If we can do it for $1,000, let's do it. I appreciate you accommodating me.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm getting squeezed here.
All right, I
don't
tell you
know.
what. If it doesn't work for you, why don't you think about it? But I know that time is drawing closer. I know the event's in 2 days, and I don't want to mess around. If you need to find another person, I totally respect that. You probably need to do that right now because otherwise you're going to get in a jam and you're going to pay rush fees.
Hold on. Are you saying over $100 you're going to back out of this thing?
No, I'm
Completely
saying
leave
over
me in the lurch?
$400. I already agreed to split the difference with you at $1,000. I'm trying my best to make a concession. If that doesn't work for you, I totally get it.
You know, maybe I can find someone else to do the stills. Let's just stick with the video.
Okay, I like that. That sounds fair to me.
Okay.
Perfect?
Well, I guess if that's what we have to do, I'm a little disappointed that you couldn't just snap these stills for me, do me a solid, because I would love to give you more work in the future. I got all these other projects,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to make you the best video that we agreed to, and I'm going to deliver, and hopefully you'll like it.
I hope so too. I'm excited
Okay.
to work with you.
Cool. I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thanks. All right, end scene.
Yeah. 3 for 3.
So
Attaboy.
Aaron's gonna collapse tonight. He's gonna go home and just like conk out. He's literally gonna
Heavy
walk
lifting,
in,
yeah. Heavy
jeans on, shoes on, and fall into bed and go to sleep.
Oh, hold this.
Did you do it again?
Yeah.
All right. Now I want to ask you something, Aaron.
Nope.
He's gone. He just
left.
ran.
Yeah, he had technical difficulties.
Got too crazy with the mic.
You know.
Okay.
Some things.
He's fixing the mic. Okay, I see his hand in the shot, so he's working on the mic. Okay, we get it. Hey, you guys, he didn't run for the bathroom and cry. It's all right, guys. Okay. Woo. All right. So here's one thing I want to say is Aaron is telling me I'm doing something. Now I'm like, objectively speaking, I don't think I'm doing that at all. So I'm gonna ask him about it. I'm gonna say, am I saying something? Like, where are we going? So I want to have that kind of level of self-awareness and just talk about it and be super transparent about it. And he kept trying to bring the heat. And my whole thing is, look, if we're not seeing eye to eye, and I could see that right away, it's time for me to leave. And there's no point in me trying to hash this out with them. All right?
He's back.
Okay. Aaron?
Yeah, I heard that.
And do you want to add something to that besides you heard it?
So, I mean, I feel like if I were the real client, I would have kind of a bad taste in my mouth now. Is that a problem?
No, so a lot of these kinds of transactions don't happen in reality. And if they happen in reality, you're dealing with a scumbag. I'm just going to say that. Okay? And I don't want to work with those people. No matter how good the work is, I don't want to work with people like that. I don't want people who are super aggressive and bullying and just treating me like trash. I don't want to work with those kind of people. It doesn't matter how good the project is. I want to enjoy the process. So doing work with those kinds of people are going to eat away at my soul. It's going to shorten my life, and I don't want to do that. And I have worked with some people like that in my past, and it doesn't feel good. It leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, so I'm not going to repeat it. So as soon as I see somebody to exhibit those same traits, I'll ask a few questions to make sure I'm not crazy, and then I'm leaving.
What are those questions to make
Well,
sure?
I'll give you an example, okay?
Okay.
I'll give you one example right now. I'm about 2 years out of school, or a year and a half out of school, and I'm working on things. I don't really have a name or a portfolio to speak of, but somebody that was one of my clients really enjoyed working with me. So he's like, we're starting a new company. Why don't you come and talk to my business partner and see if we can do something together? So I came at the behest of somebody's invitation. I drive out to Hollywood, which is a really long drive for me. I go to this person's office, nice swanky Hollywood office. I go in, and in typical Hollywood guy, I meet him, I shake his hand. He's like, so what are you going to do for us? I'm like, I'm out of here.
Just like that?
Just like that. Your partner invited me. And the first thing to come out of your mouth is, what are you going to do for us? So every stereotype of a Hollywood power player wannabe came out in this person. And I was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. I don't know. You guys invited me here. I didn't even answer the question. As soon as I could, I left politely. And then my friend runs over, the guy whose business partner that was going to become. He's like, what do you think? I say, hey, man, I wish you the very best. I don't want any part to do with this business. I got the weirdest feeling from your guy. And I would caution you, look out for this guy. He goes, no, you're being oversensitive. Don't be so emotional. You're a young guy. I'm like, oh, okay, I understand that's how you feel, but I'm leaving. I'll see you later. Okay? And you know what happened to this person? I'm going to tell you 2 things about this person. Now, my friend, who's a very talented designer, who runs a very successful company today, he signed a contract where he thought he was the partner. But the definition of partner was just by name and not by equity. So his own business partner cheated him, and he was trying to figure out how to get out of this contract now. He'd been working there for years trying to build up this company. He got screwed by his own business partner. Why? Because he wanted to do this deal so bad. He wanted to run his own company so bad that he didn't even bother to run his contract by his attorney. Because if he had done that, he would have realized this guy was scamming him. So I'm telling you right now, my radar for scam artists is really kind of sensitive. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here. This is not a person I can trust. It turns out later, and this is the tragic part, and I do feel in a way sometimes this kind of energy you send out in the world, this person got cancer later.
Wow.
So, you kind of hold those kind of thoughts in your head where you cheat people, you screw people over that are your business partners to help you build a company. Somehow, I think that works itself out. Now, I don't wish harm on anybody, but it seems an odd coincidence that somebody that's got that kind of darkness in their heart actually has a darkness in their heart, like in a physical way. All right? So when I see somebody like that, when I hear that and I feel those things, I am out. It's not worth it. I don't care how big the carrot is. And I've had big feelings like that on really big jobs. I'm talking about 7-figure jobs, $1 million jobs where I'm like, I don't like the feeling. I'm out. And my sales team's like, what are you doing? We can't walk away from this deal, this opportunity. Well, I'm like, you can't. Why don't you do it? I'm not interested. If you like it so much, you do the job, not me.
That's a
Right?
good story, man. Yeah.
That's it, man. Dropping Hollywood stories on you right now. All right, Matthew, I think it's time for us to do the thing that we promised people we're going to do. I'm going to try to cold call and pitch you. Okay? What industry are we in? What am I trying to sell you?
You're trying to sell me your design services,
Okay.
your branding services.
Oh, I know what. I would love to sell you strategy.
Okay.
And I'm a design company, right?
Okay.
Okay. And what industry are you in?
I'm in tech, and what we do is we're B2B,
Uh-huh.
and what we do is we serve.
Make sure the parameters are germane to like how I can answer here, because otherwise there's just extra details.
Right. Okay. Let me let me figure this.
I
out.
got an idea for you,
Okay. Go ahead.
because this happened in real life.
Okay.
We've been talking about a lot of real estate. I don't know why, right? Brokers and things like that. Why don't you be like an independent broker,
Okay.
and you do like commercial real estate?
Okay.
Okay. Is there any relationship with us at all, or zero?
You were recommended, or no?
No, I can't.
Okay,
I have to call you, right? But
your salesperson was knocking on my door, kept sending me cold emails, and
Yeah.
then finally set up this call.
okay.
So they kept saying, "Hey, Chris and his company is great. You guys should talk. You guys should talk. You guys should talk." So I finally
I
agreed.
got it.
Yeah.
it. Okay, I'm ready. So ring, we're talking, right? Your name will just be Matthew. And so Matthew is playing the role of the client. I'm playing the role of the design service company, and I have to pitch. He hasn't seen my portfolio. He hasn't seen anything really. Okay? So that's the setup. You guys ready? All right, let's see how this goes. Like, I'm not saying that I have a lot of practice at this, so this could be a total crash and burn. You guys will have to stay tuned to see if I do. Why don't you guys type in, make a prediction. Am I going to fail or am I going to be victorious? So go ahead and type in fail or victory before we start. You guys get the setup? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to type that in. Please make a prediction. I admittedly, I haven't done this before, so let's see how it goes. And Matthew, your mindset's just going to be you're an open-minded guy, but you're like, you're not going to try to help me out here at all. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, they want to say no connections whatsoever. Okay, so Matthew, no connections, no salesperson, no outreach.
So you're cold calling.
Super cold.
You're cold calling. So I'm just picking up the call straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try. Okay.
All right.
Epic win fail. Okay, here we go. We're going to launch into this. Okay, so this is super cold. We revised the script a little bit. I'm going to remember to speak to camera instead of looking down and all over the place because there's a lot of things pulling my eyeball away from the screen. All right, here we go. Hey, Matthew, I don't mean to bother you. I just need 10 seconds of your time. I got one of your email marketing campaigns in my inbox. I just wanted to ask you one question. Is this campaign working for you?
Whoa, it's a pretty loaded question. Nice to meet you, Chris.
Nice to meet you. I don't want to waste your time. Time is money.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's doing all right. Who are you again?
We're a design firm just down the street, and I sign up to one of your email subscriptions, and I get your emails, and I think they're beautifully designed, great messaging. It looks beautiful. It really caught my eye, to be honest, because most people in your industry don't really have well-designed materials. So I just want to ask you, is it effective? Are you getting the kind of results that you want in terms of open rates and calls?
I mean, we're doing all right in terms of industry standards.
Do you want to do better?
Of course. Doesn't everybody want to do better? So
let me ask you a quick question. What's your open rate like right now?
Open rate is about 3.5%.
Okay. That's really high, Matthew.
Well, we have a pretty focused email list.
And are those converting? Do you get new listings from that?
I mean, it's really hard to track because a lot of the clients we have, they see a lot of properties. I show around a lot of people, and eventually it closes. Usually I'll find somebody a place, and the email is just a place to start, and that just starts the conversation. A lot of it happens hand-to-hand combat where, we're talking on the phone.
I see.
We're seeing each other in person.
And are you spending a lot of money developing these different marketing campaigns?
We have a certain budget set aside for that stuff that we juice every quarter. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it really is spending the time to develop and work on relationships in person because that's really how we close our deals.
I see. Well, look, I don't want to take any more of your time. What I'd love to do is to take 10 more minutes of your time, put a customized presentation together, and go over some of the things that we can possibly do for you. And then you guys can decide whether or not you think we can help you or not. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, I'd be open to that. Just shoot me an email and put it in my inbox.
All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. That's the end of the scene.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about that.
Very nice. Hey, you guys are some pros. Okay.
All right. What are we trying to do here? First of all, I want to say thank you to Nico David for doing a super chat. He's saying you guys are awesome. Love the stream.
Thanks,
he needs
Nico.
to leave right now. Thank you very much. I like that. He leaves money on the way out.
He's like, see you guys
That's
later.
what a gentle person. I don't know if Nico is a woman or a man, so thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very nice.
All right. Let's break this thing down, you guys.
Let's do it. Any thoughts?
Team, Peanut Gallery.
What's
Talk
going
to
on?
me.
Yeah, so someone's saying, I get cold calls from SEO people all the time. I say, thank you, not interested, hang up right away.
Right. Mackenzie says that.
Yeah.
Do I know Mackenzie? Sounds like somebody I know.
Mackenzie Martz.
Right. I don't recognize that full name, but
Well, Mackenzie, what do you
yeah, I mean, so what happens here is that usually the SEO people who call you, so this is a very tricky situation, right? Like, how the heck did I even get Matthew's name? How to get through his secretary or receptionist or assistant? How to even get through all this stuff? So for the sake of the conversation, we just have to make an assumption that Matthew's willing to talk to me so that I can begin the sales process. That's it. So there's a lot more stuff that has to go on, but we don't have 3 hours to go through every single step.
It was an accident. My secretary was off to lunch, so I picked up
You just
the
picked
phone.
up.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
That's what happened. But you asked a very intense question, and that threw me off. First, it made me feel uncomfortable, and that's why I asked, wait, who is this? But you asked such an intriguing question where it wasn't just like, oh, hey, how's the weather today? You know what I mean? You didn't have any small talk. You went straight to the point. So for me, that was pretty engaging, even though it made me uncomfortable at first.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Some people are saying you respected that person's time. So here's the thing. I think there's two things that I did. I got right to it because I'm not going to beat around the bush. I know Matt's ready to hang up on me at any possible second right now, right? The other thing is I mentioned that I got his email campaign and I wanted to talk to him about something very specific. So most people who sell in bulk. They just trying to hit every single person. They're not targeting and they have no idea exactly what the person is doing. You can tell because it's very generic and it's correspondence. And when you see that, you're like, delete, delete, delete. At least take the time to know who I am. So those emails I do pause on and I'm intrigued by. Now, if they had done their homework and figured out a way that they can do something that's really low risk and not asking me much of my time, then I might be more compelled to talk to them. And I've done that before. Okay? One of the best sales calls I've ever been on was somebody selling to us. And they did such a good job. I wrote down the entire transcript of that call. And because they're sales professionals, it was a thing of beauty. Now, this was not a cold call, but we were interested in this company, but we were really unsure. We're that indecisive buyer. It's like, I don't know if we need this. And on that one call, they were able to set it up and close the deal with us. I'm going to tell you some of the things that they said, okay? So this was going to be a broad AMAs episode. It's getting deep right back into sales and how to close a job. So I'm going to tell you what they did. The first thing they did, this sales professional, when they got on the phone, is like, Chris, are you aware of what it is that we do? I'm like, no, not really. He's like, do you mind if I just take a few minutes to tell you what it is that we do? Right? And they were in the sales space, so they're going to help us. And they're like, okay, yeah, tell us. So he says, what we do is email marketing automation. Okay? And you're probably thinking, oh no, not another salesperson. But let me ask you this question. I just have three things. And this is typical pain points of who we talk to. One, it takes a long time for sales to work. So you can be in it for 6 or 7 months and not see any return on investment. And it's expensive. So you're making this investment. You don't know if it's going to work. And the results that you're getting aren't great. And you have no visibility on what's happening with the salesperson, the sales effort. We don't do any of that stuff. Okay? We do a short conversation with you and we start emailing your contacts and you'll have transparency on all the calls and the leads. You'll know who we're talking to, who's responded, who's opened the email. And we're going to take it to the point in which we're going to hand it over when we have a hot prospect on the line. And we get results not in months, but in days or weeks. Is that something you're interested in doing? I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So what this person did was they demonstrated to me they understand me and my pain points really fast. So much so that they brought up every single thing, every objection that I was going to say to them before I even had a chance to say it. And that's the mark of a true professional salesperson, right? So if you know you're a small company, you should bring that right up. Just want to let you know, Bill, right off the bat, you're talking to the owner and there's only 2 other people that work for me and that's it. So now I'm not going to bring it up. So you're a small business owner, huh? You have a really small team. I already brought it up. I told you right up front. And you might be concerned that we're too small. But I want to tell you that we've been able to do 6-figure jobs for multi-billion-dollar brands. And we've done so for the last 10 years. It's not been an issue. So now I'm going to address that. So now Bill doesn't even think that about me anymore. And that's what this salesperson was doing with me. Okay? All right, I don't know where we're going with this.
No, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Wow.
Our silence means just so many things I'm thinking about. Like
We're taking it in.
Taking it in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got to be able to come.
Wow.
Gotta
Living
comprehend
Life.
that.
Living Life is saying this is the most well choreographed live stream. And I'm
Wow.
including dance videos. Love this content.
Funny you should say that choreographed because
Because why?
it's not really that choreographed.
No, it's not choreographed at all. This is all like live and free floating. You notice there's no decks here. There's no script except for the script we read, of course. All right.
Yeah, so,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah. Mackenzie is saying, hey, I'll meet you at the meetup next week. So I guess
nice.
I will meet you in person, Mackenzie.
there.
Mackenzie Marks,
Mackenzie.
what's up?
Yeah.
We will see you. We will be here, I think.
We surely will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to try to live in that person's world for a little bit. And this was really what it means to be empathetic. Not from my point of view, but from their point of view. So Matt's sending out an email campaign. I get that. I see it. I want to react to it. Is it working, Matt? Is it not working? What's your open rate? And Matt's giving me all kinds of answers that are actually not true. So if Matt really knew the answers, he wouldn't even be talking to me. Because to be honest, actually, I don't know, Chris. And almost all salespeople, all owners think their thing could be much better. They never say it's okay because that's how they make money. right? I could be doing $10 million of business, you guys. If you ask me, how would you like to do 50? I'm like, let's do it. We're not doing great right now. That's the nature of the beast. You don't get to run a company by being okay or being complacent. They're sharks. That's what they are. And you need to tap into that. They want to do better. They want to run their company more efficiently. They're looking for new processes. They want to close more clients, right? Well, thank you very much, Stanley Williams. Stanley, you said you met me in person last week.
Oh, thanks, Stanley. What's going on, man?
Saying I'm so transparent and awesome. Well, just saying thank you again. I really appreciate you, Stanley.
Nicely done.
Thank you, Steve.
Awesome.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Okay, Matthew, are we good on this cold calling, or
I think so.
YouTube tell me so we can move on. So let's get up. Let's get the next question up and
I
prepared
got
for.
plenty.
Okay, let's get
Everybody's
prepared
been
for
waiting,
it.
yeah.
All right, go ahead. What's the next one?
Okay. Have you ever used the attorney to help you with finalizing the contract details with the client? That's a quick one.
Quick
Yes.
one. 100%.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Whenever
And
there's something new, we hire the attorney to write up a contract, and then we save that contract and we modify it for any future instances of a similar type of project.
yeah.
So we just make it boilerplate.
Look, anything that's tricky, you get an attorney involved. Otherwise, you're going to just mess it up for yourself, for sure. Okay? Use highly qualified experts to help you run your business. This is one of those things where, when you have eye surgery, you don't want to go for the discount broker.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to go there.
That's right. You won't risk it.
Yeah. No, wait. You only have one eye.
That's
Oh,
right.
wait, you have two eyes, but
Wait a minute.
you have one eye in each socket.
There we go.
Okay.
Have I been counting
Next
wrong?
question.
Mm-hmm.
When scaling your agency beyond yourself, what were some of the business and personnel systems you had put into place?
That's a popular question.
Yeah. it was-
Holy cow, that's
yeah,
like a super business question.
Yeah, it's pretty high
Dang.
up there.
Chris, do you like more of the business questions or more of like the...
Oh, I don't care. It's
okay.
AMA, so whatever they vote on, I have to. I think I
No, but just personally,
Obligation?
do you like giving people advice on their business, or do you like mindset kind of thing?
mindset.
Okay.
Because all the tools basically you will not use unless you believe they will work, and if you believe in yourself, then you don't need tools. So there you go.
More than
I'd love to do some mindset stuff, but anyways, let's talk about some business stuff. So when I was scaling my agency, and the agency is a big word, when I was scaling up my small operation of 2 or 3 people, what kind of systems to have in place? Well, I want to tell you in an honest answer, not maybe the preferred way, because I didn't really know how to run a business when I started my business. We didn't have a whole lot of systems, man. We would do business and then file for our business license after doing business.
Right.
Once we made money and tax season came around, then I thought, I better hire an accountant. So it wasn't like me spending a lot of money up front. It was about kind of figuring it out as I went along. So the first thing you do when you're bringing on people into your company is you get them to do the things that you do. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to delegate as many of the things that are non-essential that somebody else can do. So the only systems I'm setting up in place are folder structures, how we name our files, so that we have a certain agreed to standard about how to name things and where we can find things. Because that's the first thing you're going to hit. You're gonna open up a file and you're like, I can't find where Jimmy put the file. Why did they put the layer on top and when it should be on the bottom? So we just go over that. So if you're really smart and you can have foresight to see all this stuff, you would sit down one day and you'd write a document. This is how I do everything. But that's not the way the real world works. What happens is you see a problem and then you correct it. You see a problem, you correct it. And after a while, you see certain problems repeat itself. Then you make that document. Now, if you're starting out a company and for whatever reason, if you're coming out from another career and you have a bunch of money saved up, then you can probably do this the right way. You can hire maybe some business advisors. You can hire us and I can help you figure out the systems and share those in advance. So if you have more money than time, you spend the money, you save the time. That's what happens. So people who do startups and they're able to get funding, they don't sit there and try to figure out the systems on their own. They just start to hire people, and that's why they need the funding. Okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
All right.
answer.
That's a pretty good answer.
Matt, you look a little tired.
Oh no, yeah, I'm just waiting.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
All right. So if you guys have any follow-up questions there for business-related stuff,
Yeah.
in terms of what systems to put into place, just drop it and we can follow up on there. But I want to move on to the next question.
Okay. Is this a question that you can answer? I got to switch earpieces. This one's like hurting my ear today for some reason.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
I'll be
will
right back.
answer this next one. Okay. So this is from Martin. It's kind of a follow-up from earlier. He says, how do I start networking at events as a student? I feel like I don't have anything interesting to offer someone else to talk about. And I'll tell you, Martin, if you have been watching some of the recent videos on the Future, there's one about how to get somebody's time. Watch that video, because I know there were 2 students from UCLA who reached out to us the day after that video dropped. And in the email, I think they reached out to Ben or to customer service. They said, hey, I see you guys are running a Future open house, a party. I was wondering if there was anything we could help with. So what they were doing there is they were trying to create value for us instantly. They were trying to create value for us. They didn't leave it. They weren't asking for anything, actually. They were trying to give us something. So if the basis of that video, if you go watch it, it's all about how do you create value for somebody else? How do you take something off of their plate? So if you're able to do that, you can get somebody's time. And I think that's the key to anything, whether it's getting them for a business meeting, to review something, or just to chat with them. You have to be willing to offer them something in return, something of value to them. And the key thing is, in the email, they didn't say, hey, can we make a logo for that event? They weren't offering something. They asked, how can we be helpful for this event? So they were leaving it to me.
Just super broad?
Super broad, because they were trying to define to me, or they were having me define what something of value would be to me. They didn't try to assign it. Just because they made a logo, they're not trying to shove that down my throat, because I would have already turned them down. So what they did was super key, because they asked at the right time. So at the time, we're planning for the event, and I'm looking for somebody to man the door to help us check tickets. And there was 2 of them. So they emailed, the email got passed to me, and I said, hey, Tin, it's perfect. I'm glad you emailed, because I need volunteers to help us check tickets at the door. Can you work at the door for 1 hour and just let people in? And they said, absolutely.
And I feel like that's like not a super glamorous thing. So you're going to want to repay them by like being like, okay, now you guys gave me something that was pretty tedious and not fun. Now I can give you some of my time. That is what you originally wanted.
Correct.
Right.
So because they're going to be part of that event now they're going to be here, part of the planning, and I'm sure they can ask me for things. They're going to just be here. They have access already to
They're going to
me.
rub shoulders with you, which is evidently what
correct.
they want. So that's good.
That's correct. So if you're trying to get somebody's time, whether that's a meeting or anything like that, you just have to figure out how you can create value for that person, but you have to have that person assign what is valuable to them. Don't just say, hey, I want to make an animation for you, I want to make a logo for you, or whatever it is. You have to figure out what it is that is valuable to them.
That's good.
Okay?
That's very good.
All right, you guys, I'm back. I'm in stereo now. I didn't realize this, but if I wear these headphones, I can actually hear myself in both ears. Pretty amazing, this technology.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm really a sensitive guy, because these little earbuds, after my ear hole for a while, they get sore.
Poor guy.
I know.
What are we
All
gonna do?
right. Let's get back into it. Aclime, thank you very much for the super chat.
Thanks, man.
He says, I've been binging your content for 3 weeks. Thanks for teaching me more than 11 years as an in-house designer taught me.
Wow.
Thanks so much, man.
That's awesome.
And good luck with your own side hustle. I hope you're able to do this and grow your practice. That's what we're here for. So hearing these kinds of messages really warms that cold robotic heart of mine. All right.
That's awesome.
The 2 gears are rubbing together, making friction. It feels like warmth. Okay.
And then somebody was saying, I wish I could do the super chat. I wish I could donate to you guys. Well, luckily, we have a sustaining membership. So for those of you guys who don't know, I just dropped the link in the chat there. For those of you guys who want to support us because you like what we do, you're getting some kind of value out of that. There's a way to support us that doesn't get blocked by YouTube or anything like that. We have a sustaining membership. So you could donate as much as you want, as very little or as much as you want. And you can end that whenever you want. That's just an easy way for us to get funding. And we just do this, really because we want to help all of you guys. But it helps. Every little dollar that you guys contribute to us is another video that we can do. It's another course that we can do. It's another event we can hold.
It keeps the lights on, It really helps us out.
That's correct.
Yeah, you got to keep those lights on.
Yeah.
Well, we use the money, we make more content. That's all we're doing. So we just take it, we reinvest it in you guys. And hopefully you guys are going out there and winning. And you're not underselling your services. That's why we exist.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you, Catherine, for being a sustaining member. Really appreciate you. I recognize your icon. Thank you. Okay. Matthew, should we do one or two more and then let's get out of here?
Yeah, let's let
All
me
right.
pull up something.
Sloppy pastrami. Love your name. It's like,
Interesting.
if you do WeChat
Interesting.
or Alipay, I would do it. We're not that concerned, you guys. Actually, to be honest, if you guys can support us, go for it. It's not going to kill us if you aren't able to. And some of these more exotic payment things, we're just like, we're
Right.
stuck to the platform that we have, and it can only accept so many things.
Right.
You know, like when you go to a restaurant, you're like, I got this one, you guys. I got this bill. And you pull out your American Express and you put it on the plate, and the lady comes up, looks at it, it's like, we don't do Amex. Like, oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Can you guys pick this one up? That's what happens there.
That's why I don't pay for the bill usually.
Oh, wait, speaking of which, Matt, do you still owe me lunch?
I thought we're even, man.
Did we square it up?
I thought we're even.
When
I
did
don't know. I'll buy you lunch. If you think I owe you.
I think you're trying to weasel out of that
Nah,
one.
it's fine.
I declined the last time because it was too expensive. Okay.
I just want to say to you guys too, like if you can't afford it, that's totally fine. Learn from our content, go
Yep.
apply it, go teach it to somebody else, and then go make money. And
Go
then
make money, guys.
Reciprocate when you can.
Yeah.
There's no pressure to
Oh,
do
Matthew.
that right now.
Yesterday when I was looking for my message and I was going to read it, then we got sidetracked with a conversation. I do want to read you guys something that's going to blow your mind, you guys. Ready for this? As soon as I can find it, here we go. I get text messages like this all the time. I can't show it to you, but there it is. All right. All right. This came to me Tuesday at 6:02 p.m. from somebody I'm coaching. You guys sit down. Everybody sit down.
Done.
Here's the message. My hands are a little shaky because I really can't believe just yet, but I just closed a $105,000 project this month.
Whoa. That's a lot.
$105,000.
Wow.
He's like, I can't freaking believe it. I feel it, man. I feel the shift. So grateful for you, man. Can't tell you enough. So we create this content, and here's the weird phenomenon. It's the same amount of content going out to all of you. You guys have all equal access to the publicly available videos. Yet only a small percentage of you are actually able to convert that knowledge into capital.
Why
So,
do you
why
think
is that?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because they don't believe that it will work for them.
Yeah?
I would speak from experience why I don't do it.
I would love that, Aaron.
Because I'm just afraid of doing it.
Why?
Because it's just scary to do something new.
Yeah. Is it scary to do something new, or is it scary to be stuck where you're at?
I would say being stuck where I'm at is super comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't have to do anything hard or new or different. I just keep doing what I've comfortably been doing.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let's look into the future. Let's say you're 45 years old and you're still living at home. Pretty comfortable.
No, well.
Are you good with that?
No.
So, the thing that makes human beings happy is progress. You have to make progress. And I'll tell you when you're at least happy. You ever been stuck on the 405, barely moving
Yes.
in the proverbial parking lot?
Yes.
How happy are you?
It's awful.
And are you stressed out? Especially if you have to come to work on time, Ricky?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a very fun experience.
All right. And then in order to get a California driver's license, you might have to go to the DMV.
Very true.
How happy are you at the DMV?
Oh, it's a huge line.
It's a line to get in the line,
It's a line to get into
Really?
the outside line.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a rock concert to get your license or
Yeah.
a test,
Just to get a license. plate,
right?
I think,
Can you
yeah.
believe it? It's like this really happening club where nothing happens,
Yeah, it's the worst.
right? So human beings were hardwired. We need to make progress. We need to see that something's moving on. And I talked about this before. There's a stark contrast between the old businesses and the new businesses, and I'll make it super clear for you, at least the way it's been done for a really long time. If you go into McDonald's restaurant, you walk up, you wait in line, you make an order, and people move behind the scenes. You have no idea, like, did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? How quickly, like, wait, didn't that lady who's behind me get her order before me? You guys ever have that experience?
Yeah.
You start to wonder, like, I think they jacked up my order. And sometimes you're right. 1 out of 10 times, you're probably right when it comes to that. Let's contrast that with, say, a fast casual place like Chipotle. I'm in line, but the line keeps moving. And then I order food, and I'm making a lot of little decisions, and they're building the food in front of me. So despite the fact that it could be as long or longer than a McDonald's line, I can actually see and feel the progress. I also have some idea of what's happening. So there's provenance over my food. I know that it wasn't the sloppy dude in the back who wiped his hand on his butt and then is now fixing my food. I also know that it's not somebody's bad order that they're like, yeah, same order, let's just throw it in the bag. I get to see that. So there's a level of control. So perceived control and perceived progress are the 2 pillars of 4 about happiness. So we need to make progress. Otherwise, you're going to be unhappy. And if you feel like you're not unhappy, Aaron, you may or may not be lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You go to the gym, Aaron?
Not as often as some people, but yeah.
But you do go to the gym.
Yeah.
Imagine if you went to the gym day in and day out and you saw no progress. You happy?
Well, that's actually a good analogy because I go to the gym every day and I pretty much just stay as fit as you see me now, which, I mean, isn't ideal, I guess, but
Should
it's
probably change it up.
good enough. I should change it up.
Well, I'm unclear as to the point you're trying to make.
Well, like a lot of people's lives, like mine, maybe isn't like awesome as I want it to be,
Yeah?
but it's
you're okay with it.
It's just I'm like a 6, you know.
A hard 6?
I'm a 6.
Are you an LA 6 or a
No, I mean like my
Portland
happiness
6?
level.
Oh, yeah.
6.
So we're talking about?
Or like maybe not, but I'm just saying like, you know, life's not perfect, but it's good enough, so I can live with something being wrong the rest of my life if it's not too bad, you know.
Jeez.
That was a quote from a movie.
That sounded intense.
I'm getting
man.
tired, man. I'm just like, dude.
We cooked your brain on the first 3 role plays, right?
It's a long live stream, man.
But look, yeah, it is a long live stream. But look, if you go to the gym and you don't make the progress that you set out to make, you're not going to be a happy person.
That's true.
But reverse progress is also something you're trying to avoid. Because I remember, I have pictures of you, kind of a little bit round, open toe shoes with some nasty toenails, walking around with your Hawaiian shirt and shorts, probably the comfortable Aaron. Like, were you wearing corduroy shorts at one point?
No, they were cargo shorts.
Yeah, cargo shorts, just like baggy, right?
Yeah.
And now you're fit, and you're like, nobody's fitter than me at this office. That's what you're saying, right? And so you've been working out a lot to kind of maintain,
Yeah.
right?
Maintain.
That's what it's all about. So you're trying to maintain a high performance in your kind of physical fitness.
Right.
And that's fantastic. Here's the thing. We talked about this before. Are you spending the same amount of effort and energy, if not more, on your mental fitness?
I would say I am, and
That's
part of my
good.
answer is I feel like I'm just channeling the old Aaron because maybe that's more
Right.
helpful for this conversation.
Yeah,
but
I
in
see.
general, I feel like I work all day and then I stay here and work and learn even more. I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
see that.
hustling to get better.
I see that.
And that makes me happy because I feel like I'm
Ah.
gonna get there, man, and it's just every day getting a little closer.
Every day, make progress every single day.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I want to say thank you to Experta 1986 for donating some foreign currency, saying it's a small token of appreciation for what you guys do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. All right.
Very nice.
Where are we here?
I think we have one more question or something like that.
Let's make it good.
Matthew, do you have one more question for us?
Yeah, we can focus on this one. So the question is, how do I choose what to spend the 10,000 hours on? Meaning, where do I focus my time on learning? I like doing all sorts of things and haven't been able to decide what to do professionally and beyond. So how do I focus my time? If I have the rest of my life to focus on stuff, or even just the next few years, where do I spend that time? Because it feels like I could do anything.
Whew, that's a big question.
Well, I think you've already answered it, Chris.
Have I?
You've answered it in another video, which is how to find your superpower.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to that video, I'll pull it up and then I'll drop it into the comments.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guide there. Chris walks you through this in a workshop where he tries to align your superpowers, basically the things you love doing, the things that other people value, a community that you serve. And was there one more to that, Chris?
There were 5 prompts. I don't
5
remember them all.
prompts.
Like what you're passionate about, what you love, what opportunities, how you better humankind. And there was one more. I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
Right. But I'll drop that in there. If you just go through that prompt and write all that stuff down, I think you're going to have a much clearer idea of where you should be focusing your time.
Yeah. I was not prepared to give such a structured answer. Okay. And before I give you my opinion on this and maybe a broader answer to this question, I do want to say this. So many of you guys want to donate and there's different reasons why you can't. But something that you can do right now, as somebody has just pointed out, Med Bucci said, hey guys, there are 283 of us watching this right now, yet there's 110 thumbs up. So 4 of you guys hate this, and I understand. I get it.
That's
But
me.
where are the other? It's you, Aaron, and Jonah hating this live stream right now. So guys, come on, help me out. It doesn't cost you anything. It's minimal effort. Just hit the thumbs up for us, okay? And we'll keep doing this content for you. I appreciate it. All right, we got another super chat function here. Frankie Bone says, oh, Frankie, what's up, man?
Frankie.
My donation is small, but I'm
Frankie.
sincere when I say I appreciate your content. Thank you. Thanks, Frankie.
Thanks, Frankie.
All right, so here's the broader answer to that question about what should I be doing with my life since my life is long. So I have some problems with that. I think we assume our life is long, but we don't know how much time we have left. So I think here's the really dark and morbid thought, but hopefully I'll be able to pull it out of the darkness and bring you into the light. Is from the day that you were born, you were running on borrowed time. And each one of us has a finite clock left to live. The problem is we just don't know when it's going to run out. Otherwise, you would live your life to the fullest, right? If I told you, Matthew, from one of the big talk questions, what would you do if you knew you only had 48 hours to live? What would you be doing? I don't need you to answer that, but I just want you to think about that. So if we assume that we have a finite amount of time, we're going to start to prioritize our life and do the things that we were meant to do, things that give us joy, things that we can do to help other people, to make a difference in the world, to make an impact on society. Maybe that's the place we start. If we assume we have a finite amount of time, think about the things that bring you real joy and that brings joy to others. Because if you just do it for yourself, that's considered selfish, right? And we belong to this greater family, this tribe called humanity. And I think what we want to do is contribute something to help it move forward.
Leave it
And
better
that's what
than
we're trying to do.
Leave it better than when you left it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Right? So think about that. And I also want to say this, that I don't think we all have to have the answer to that question right away on our first shot. I think it's okay to kind of meander through life a little bit, to do things intensely, to see if this is what you want to do. So for a long time, I thought I was going to be a comic book artist. So I drew, and I realized I suck at drawing compared to the artists that I looked up to. So now I'm done with that. And I thought, okay, maybe I can airbrush on t-shirts. And I did that for a while. And I would stay up all night in my room with my compressor painting. And then when I would blow my nose, paint would come out on my nose. So that wasn't the right answer for me too. So I tried lots of different things. But the difference between how I do it perhaps and how some of you do it is the level of intensity. Like that's the kind of person I am. I go in super hot, super focused. I find out as much as I can about something. And I find out if this is right for me or not.
How do
And
you
if
know?
it isn't, I move on.
How do you know that point when you were airbrushing and you're like, you know what, I'm done airbrushing? What, like, if you could put me inside of your mind, like,
Lack of progress. You see how that dovetails right into our other thing, Aaron?
What do you?
So you work on something, you don't see a lot of improvement. So you have to ask yourself, what's going to get me to the next level? What's going to get me closer to the people I looked up to, right? I would look at Airbrush magazine. I think there was such a magazine. I would flip through. I'm like, wow, this is so awesome. Look at this photoreal drawings of women, of cars and plants and trees and dinosaurs. Like, how do they do this? And my thing would come out, psh, and it would spray like randomly and miss the frisket or whatever. I'm like, oh, it just ruined it. It's not good. So you do that over and over. So you have to make a decision in your life. Do I want to spend more time? Do I want to get instruction? Do I want to do an apprenticeship with somebody? And then I thought, I don't want it that much.
Right, because I was going to say, like, I don't think that you tried business and you were just as successful or more successful than you were airbrushing. You just wanted to do it more. So then you ended up being successful at it.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I was super. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're totally right. What people don't realize is blind or the future. It's the 7th business I've started, not the first. The first 5 were total failures. And if you were on the Euro tour with us, I did talk about it in Milan at Digital Design Days. And I talked about all the ways I tried to start a business and failed and learned very valuable lessons, what not to do. And those things add up to the experience called life. And it's okay. So I want to say that to you guys, that you don't just come out of the womb and say, yep, I'm going to be a starchitect. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a super famous architect. It's all I ever. And some people are gifted with that. But most of us need some time to work it out. Here's the critical part. We just need to give ourselves some latitude that when we don't figure it out or we stumble, that we're not too hard on ourselves. Now, most of us are going to say, well, why would I be so hard on myself for trying? Well, unfortunately, we're not always surrounded by people who are as generous and as open and as giving as we want them to be. You might have a parent who says, you know, you fail, you're a failure, you never add up to anything. Yeah, I knew it from the minute I saw you. And that could be a lot for you to carry. And that could be a heavy burden. And if that's the case that's in your life, you're not going to be able to get that solution from me talking to you in one video like this. I strongly encourage you to go see a psychotherapist, find somebody that works for you, and start working on these things and start to address, why do you care so much what somebody else says of you? And it's hard. It's like you look up to these people who you thought loved you and you don't know any better. So once you start to know better and you start to say, whoa, I didn't realize everybody else ate with a fork. Oh my God, that's rocking my world right now. That's a paradigm shift for me. And so now you can see a new reality. So when the old reality comes in, you don't like that, you can say, you know what? I want to put that aside. I don't want that for myself anymore. Okay? So give yourself some latitude. Be gentle to yourself, but try things and be passionate. And I think if you're doing it right, you're making gigantic failures. I want to tell you a little personal story. I wanted to make a music video. I thought I could sing. I was wrong on both accounts. Somewhere on the internet, somewhere my cousin has a videotape of me on high 8 trying to make a stupid music video. And it was just a dumb thing. So you want to make those big gambles and totally burn out and just hopefully people destroy that kind of evidence so that they can't blackmail you and that kind of stuff. So I think my cousin's waiting for us to get really, really big and super successful. And it's like, you remember that tape, Joe?
Hold that over
You
your
remember
head.
that tape when we made it when we were 15 years old? I still got it. What's that worth to you today?
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
I got a few of those.
Yeah.
floating around.
And they're of you making a music
Yikes.
video, right?
Yeah, it might have involved Cry Me a River and Justin Timberlake, but let's not get into
We
that.
can reenact that, dude.
Absolutely not.
We'll make the future musical. Yeah?
Yikes.
We can do that.
Yikes.
What are you going to say? Oh, my.
Oh, my word.
Oh, my word. OMW. Oh, my word. All right. I think we got to get out of here. So I'm going to get to my deck here. What do I need to do? Did I make
Some
every announcement?
housekeeping stuff.
Housekeeping. Hey, I just want to give you guys all a warm welcome. Those of you guys that are going to be joining us in the business boot camp. We are 5 away from our goal, Matthew.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked. You know what that means? That if 5 more people, just 5 more people that are watching this, sign up for the business boot camp, Ben Burns has to make an apology video versus me.
Okay, let's make that happen.
Let's make that happen, you guys. Business boot camp. It
Or,
is
I
We need
3,000.
5 more.
What's that?
I was going to say we could make him sing at the future party.
Ooh. Ben, you've been called
We will,
out.
we will record that. We will record
We'll
that.
figure it out, right? We could do something. But guys,
We need 5.
I'm really looking forward to hopefully impacting and changing the lives of those people who have already enrolled. We're just 5 away from hitting our goal. And I'm looking forward to launching that class with you guys. And I think that's it. I just want to thank you guys for sticking it out with us to the very end. Congratulations. You deserve a prize. Go ahead and reward yourself by hitting that bell right now. So before I say goodbye, I just want to say thank you to the entire team for making this possible, and especially you guys and the sustaining members. That's it on behalf of Matthew, Jonah, Aaron, and Ricky. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's get out of here, man.
Yeah, super shout out to Daniel for giving us $50. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
$50, man.
$50.
Woo!
Wow. Woo! Thank you.
It's giving
See you
it
guys.